was actually going to do, oops, that. All right, so anybody that pops in, please go follow Anti-Animal Use on YouTube. We'll be live on Saturday, and we'll be actually streaming from that account. So please go follow Anti-Animal Use. And yeah, Saturday. This Saturday, it'll be 1 p.m. PDT to about 3 p.m. PDT that we'll be live. We'll be on the streets of Portland, Oregon, interviewing people, asking them, you know, if they're really living in alignment with their own principles. So please go follow Anti-Animal Use on YouTube. We're also on Instagram and Facebook, but we just need to get enough followers so that YouTube actually suggests our videos, that's all. And with that, let's go ahead and switch back to our image. Hey, so I am VSL, also known as Vegan Stoner Lady, and I just want to know, why aren't you vegan yet? I have a couple of resources. Dominion is a documentary on YouTube. It's free. It is 2 hours long, but it goes over all the animals that we use and just the standard practices, what's legal, and just shows you what you're demanding when you use animals. Below that is nutritionfacts.org. It's just a great website that breaks down studies that focus on how nutrition affects your health. And if you want like an easy way or an easy guide, a checklist on how to get everything you need in a day, they have the Vegan Daily Dozen. You can just Google Vegan Daily Dozen. And it's a, like I said, easy checklist. Make sure you get everything you need from a whole food, plant-based diet. Below that is Vegan Easy. If you are maybe a little more worried that you won't find everything you need, or maybe you need community, or just like having access to somebody who has nutritional information in their background, like a nutritionist, for example, you can go to Vegan Easy. They actually have a challenge for you that is 30 days long, that is developed by dietitians, and yeah, you get everything you need. They'll help you find what you need in the area that you're in. And with that, let's see, I'll take a look at some of our comments here. Oh, hey, Lori.
Hey,
Hey,
how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Right, I haven't seen you. I haven't been able to get on with you because I've been getting up after you're done.
Yeah, that's fair. There's a lot of vegans I watch on YouTube, and
Yeah,
lately they've all been streaming when I'm passed out.
in your sleeve. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. We were up kind of late with you and Magic yesterday. So
Oh, yep, that's fair.
anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah, I haven't taken anybody up yet, just reading comments. Yeah, if you're 18 or older and not vegan, please come on up. I'd love to know why you're not vegan yet. Yes, I do know that animals pass away in crops. Exactly. 80% of soy is fed to animals that we raise for their flesh and their secretions. I'm not screaming. Actually, they find that the countries that drink more milk have higher rates of osteoporosis. And they find that of all versions of diets, all different versions like omnivore, vegan, carnivore, that most people are deficient in something. So most people don't even know that they're deficient. I don't have a name for you. You have to be over 18. Otherwise, I will drop you. Hi.
Hello?
Hi. Are you over 18?
Yes, I am.
What year were you born?
2002.
I don't believe you. They sound like a kid to me. I did not believe that person.
Yeah. You know, I'll check them for you. Like on
If you want.
Universal's Life, I go to check their bios, and for some reason it drops me. You know,
Oh,
so
you
then
don't have to worry about it then, because a lot of the times they just, if you want to do it and it doesn't drop you, you're welcome to do it, but don't feel like you have to. Yeah. I'd rather you be up here with me. So yeah.
Okay. Sure. No problem.
All right, Backpack. I get it. You don't need to spam my chat about it.
Yeah, Austin, if you have something to say, why don't you come up and talk to Being Stoner Lady or us? Because you're chatting away in this, you're going at it in the chats.
I mean, the way you're going, Backpack, I'm just going to mute you. It's fine to say whatever you're going to say in the chat, unless you're going to be like racist, homophobic, like some other kind of harmful discrimination. That right. I won't tolerate. But, I mean, why spam? You're wasting both of our time. Why is AI bad for the environment? Please educate me, Daisy. Come on up. Let's talk about it. Why aren't you vegan and yet you advocate for water conservation, excuse me. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. Grayson. Are you over 18?
It's Grayson.
Are you over 18?
Yeah.
What year were you born?
Yeah. Me, 92.
Okay. I don't know if I believe you. You sound very young. So why aren't you vegan yet?
How old do I sound?
Like you're possibly 17.
Damn, that's messed up. Yeah, what was your question?
If you're already offended, do you want to stay up?
No, I want to stay up.
Okay. So why aren't you vegan yet?
Yeah, two reasons. One is that I saw a study that said that if you no, this isn't a joke. If you take the vegan diet, there is a 99% chance that you can go bald from it. And I've noticed that every person I know that's vegan as a man is
quote
bald.
The study.
Oh, the study?
Yeah, quote it.
Yeah, just a minute. Let me go to my office. Hold up.
Your office. This guy reminds me of McLovin. When he's
There's a lot of meat eaters that are bald men too. It doesn't have anything to do with that.
Yeah,
it has to do with yourself.
It has to do with your genetics.
Your genetics, exactly.
Right here. Okay, so you can Google this. It's the shocking link between veganism and hair loss.
Is that a study or an article?
Yeah, there's an abstract here. It says, in a groundbreaking investigation, researchers at the Institute of National Health and Nutrition analyzed 1,200 vegan volunteers who reported hair shedding after switching to plant-based diets. Surprisingly, 94% after a 5-year interval of the participants developed full balding and noticeable bald spots in 3 to 6 weeks.
This sounds so fake.
Is this peer-reviewed?
Yeah, what was it called? One more time.
Yeah, it says experts warn that broccoli may be hair kryptonite.
No. What's the title?
Study.
Yeah, the shocking link between veganism and hair loss.
This sounds so funny.
The conclusion: vegan diets typically result in baldness unless you eat bacon, cheese, or eggs simultaneously.
That's all genetics, dude.
Yeah, it's definitely genetics. So I don't know what this article is going on about.
Well, I'm just saying. Let me ask you this question: have you ever seen a single vegan man that isn't bald? That's the question.
Yes.
And I haven't.
Yes.
That's a lie. Come on.
There are a bunch of
I'm going to drop you. I'm going to drop you. He's clearly making things up because my partner of 20 years, full head of hair, he's been vegan 9 years. So if you're going to sit there and call me a liar, I don't want to talk to you.
They all do have a full head of hair. Every vegan on here except for Louise. I think he shaves his head.
Let's see. It says the suggested connection usually involves nutrient deficiencies, changes in protein intake, or rapid dietary shifts rather than veganism. So people just not knowing how to eat is what it sounds like. Like they're not eating enough. Like, of course, if you don't eat enough, you're not going to get everything you need. You might go bald. But if you eat everything you need in a day, go look up the Vegan Daily Dozen. This covers everything that you need. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, which definitely has a higher status than this article, says that a vegan diet is safe and healthy for all stages of life, including pregnancy, nursing, infancy, childhood, adulthood, and adolescence. I skipped that one. Elderly age, and athletes. So I don't know what this article is about. I'll read it, but so far it sounds like they just had some people that were already they were just deficient. So they weren't eating what they needed to.
Right. No, I don't care what anybody says on here. It
Says the
has
reports
to do
are
with genetic.
Yeah, it says the reports are anecdotal and come from clinic tricholologists. I don't know that word, tricholologists, seeing more cases of shedding among those who changed their diets. So it sounds like they purposely picked a group of people that were already having this problem. What'd you say?
Is it peer reviewed though?
No,
Is it peer reviewed?
No, it's just anecdotal.
Okay.
I don't see anything yet that says it's a trial.
Yeah. Nah.
It just says other studies do note that deficiencies specifically in iron and zinc can worsen hair loss. So if you're not eating your dark leafy greens, and pumpkin seeds are a great source of zinc, but I can't think of another one off the top of my head. But if you don't eat, a nice varied amount of food, then you might be deficient in something. Yeah, supplements are so
you can
easy.
Take zinc for
Just
a supplement.
take it. Yeah.
Deal. Why are all the carnivores or people that, well, nobody's a carnivore, but why are all the meat eaters so against supplementation if they need it? And they are the worst. They have the worst deficiencies, are the ones who eat meat.
Yeah. This further goes on to say that usually hair regrows once nutrition is addressed. So it's not even that they were vegan. It was literally because they weren't eating what they needed to. Like on a whole food, plant-based diet where it's well planned, you can get everything and you won't go bald. I mean, people that are anorexic do that too, even though they're eating animal products, right? Because they're not getting all their needed nutrition. Anyway, okay, let's move on to the next one. I'll admit that, I didn't know that there could have been this article out there, but I don't know. It still doesn't stop you from being
peer
vegan.
Reviewed.
Well, and even if it is,
studies,
it's like it says that you can be healthy and not have this happen to you. It's about nutritional deficiency. So if you don't want to hurt animals, which we didn't even get to what veganism is, instead he wanted to talk over me about his article that he read this morning. We could have talked about, that is even hair loss, more worth someone's life? Because if that's the case, we could just unalive babies. What if human babies made you grow hair super luscious and give you that bounce and whatever, right? Would that now morally justify unaliving babies after birth and slicing them open and turning them into hair products? I don't know. That just sounds outrageous to me. Martin, are you over 18?
Hello. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I mean, I got a couple little debates I got with it. One is probably.
Well, first, I just want to be clear. I'm not trying to debate you. I literally think that you share principles
I'm not,
with me.
trying to debate, but I got my personal opinions here.
That's fine, but I'm here to ask you why you're not vegan. I'm not here for you to try to beat me.
No.
If you want to go debate someone, that's fine. I'm not here for that.
No, I'm not trying to. Not like I don't know. I should have just used a different word, but sorry, that's my bad. But
okay, so why aren't you vegan?
Number one, I'm probably lazy. Number two, I feel like, I don't know. I've seen I've never done any research on this type of diet, the carnivore diet, but I've had plenty of coworkers who've gone on this diet, and they say it does good for them, but I don't. In my opinion, I couldn't see how it could, because you're not getting all the nutrients. You're just eating meat. There's a lot more you need to eat other than just meat. And I understand that
you don't need to
can
eat meat
be
at
vegan.
all.
Yeah, and I understand that you can be vegan, and you don't. and you get all the nutrients you can get just from eating plants and herbs and all that stuff. And one thing I do really, really disagree about is the mass production putting out meat products. Like
Why?
I really, because it's inhumane.
Why does that matter?
Because these are animals. I mean, would you do this to your dog?
No, I'm
Would
asking
you
you
do
why.
this?
I'm asking you why do you find it inhumane? I'm vegan. Why do you
I mean,
find the factory farm system inhumane?
it's they do it to push mass production.
No,
If they
no,
were to do it,
that's not that doesn't make it immoral because they do the same thing to plants. Do you find it just as bad?
I mean, but they do it in. I mean, plants grow in
Do
their
you
own ways.
think do you think that a plant can suffer?
100%. I
You think a
mean,
plant can
you
suffer?
can see it whittle and die.
Do you know what sentience is?
I mean, yeah, but I mean,
What
in
is
that
it?
type of
What
suffer,
is it? What is it?
like being like conscious and knowing, like actually having, like, I don't know, knowing that you're alive. Well, I mean,
So
not knowing that you're alive, but
sentience is the ability to experience subjective feelings. So the ability to experience pain, the ability to experience joy, making
yeah,
preferences on your experiences. Plants can't do that. That's why it
yeah,
doesn't matter if we factory farm plants, they're not suffering. They don't make
yeah,
preferences. Animals are sentient. They have a brain and a central nervous system. They do make preferences, right? They do feel pain. They do feel joy. So that's
yeah,
why factory farming is wrong, right? Because we care about what their experience is. We know that if we were in that situation, we wouldn't want to be in a factory farm setting. We can tell when an
yeah,
animal is distressed and relate with it, right?
yeah.
So if that's the case, then even on a small scale farm, right? Why is it okay for me to rob them of their bodily autonomy, their freedoms, their whole life? Why is that okay if we share the same thing that we want respected in ourselves?
Well, my grandparents actually own a ranch,
So
and
why
it's
is
pretty
it
small
moral?
scale. It's
Why
not
is it moral for your grandparents to enslave animals but not humans? What if your
because they're all
grandparents
free
enslaved
roam.
humans?
They're all free roam, and we don't
That's
like
no,
to
no,
keep
no.
them.
You're not
We don't
listening.
like big numbers. We don't
Martin,
like big pop.
Martin, Martin, you're just talking. You're not listening. What did I say? What did I ask you? Can you repeat what my question was? Unmute yourself. Right there. I'll repeat the question if you don't remember. Martin, you can't find the mute button? It's in the middle.
That's my
Okay.
bad.
So, why is it morally acceptable in your mind for your grandmother to enslave animals, but not, let's say, it's not okay for her to enslave humans? Why is it okay to do it to animals but not humans?
Um, Honestly, couldn't give you an answer for that one. You kind of got me there, but
There's no morally
in
relevant difference. That's why. They feel
yeah,
pain, they feel joy. And that's why I'm out here talking to you because if we were them, I don't care how nice the farm you raised me on. I want to live. I don't want you to take my life, right? I would
yeah,
prefer to be either taken care of if I've been brought into this world or left alone if I'm already out on my own, right?
yeah.
So what's stopping you, or what do you think is holding you back from leaving this conversation and just being vegan?
Um, a lot. Actually, none of it. Probably, honestly, I just
Okay.
need to do my research on what I would actually need for my type of lifestyle. Honestly.
So I would take a screenshot because these are great resources for that very thing. The top one's a documentary. The second one below is just an easy checklist, so you can make sure if you have access to a grocery store, you'll have access to all the foods you need in the Dailey Dozen. And
Mm-hmm.
then if you want to talk to somebody, though, there's free resources in Vegan Easy. You just sign up for it. They send you meal plans based on where you live. It's made by a dietitian. And they also give you access to a group so that you have community of people you can talk to about what you're going through. But I really would start with Dominion. Watch that first and just ask yourself, like, do I really want to support this system? Do I want to give my money to people that do this to animals?
Scary is scary. It's only 5 minutes on YouTube.
That's also another great one. Yeah. I was just trying to keep my stuff condensed. So,
Yeah.
yeah, so take a screenshot and check out those resources, okay?
Okay. Well, it was great talking to you.
All right. Thank you, Martin, for coming up. You have a good day.
Yep. You too.
That was interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Maybe he'll. Oh, it looks like he's thinking about it.
Yeah, that's good. I do worry that a lot of younger people are already entrenched in the picking a sides on this topic because it's been made so almost political. But it's good to have people that are still open-minded to information. It's like, you don't need to believe me right off the bat, but you need to be curious enough to go check out the reality of what you're supporting,
Exactly. Do your research.
Exactly. All right, Jackrabbit.
What's up?
Hey, are you over 18?
Yep.
Okay.
Can you define enslavement?
I don't know it verbatim.
It's not that hard.
Well, you don't need to be condescending. You can take it down a notch. I mean, I just brought you up.
Can you tell us your age first, Jackrabbit, please?
I'm
And when
18.
you were born? Say what year were you born?
2006.
Okay.
No,
So
2007.
the action. Okay, you just changed the date of your birthday. Did he just say actually
Yeah, he
2007? Well, I dropped him because he said actually 2007. Like, what do
Yeah.
you mean 2000? It's one or the other, dude. It's not in between.
One or the other, not both.
Okay,
Yeah.
enslavement though. I looked it
I
up.
don't know what year you were born or not.
Yeah. The action
It's pretty
of
simple.
yeah, the action of making someone a slave and subjugation. God, I can't talk. Subjugation. It doesn't say a specific species there. I'm sure, though, that he was trying to go on about personhood and how someone, not an animal, because animals are a something for some reason. But just in case you're in the chat, I go off of sentience, not the definition of someone. Yeah, I go off of the word sentience, which is the ability to experience subjective feelings, and animals and us are sentient. That's all I care about. I don't care if someone is in a book defined as a human or not, or a person or not. Yeah. All right. Oh, Cameron. Hey, Cameron. Oh, okay, they canceled. It must have been an accident. Insects are sentient, you're right. Okay, so a pet, yes, if you go and buy an animal as like an accessory or a toy for entertainment, that is wrong. That is exploitation. Caleb, I mean, come on. What do you think is going to happen when you do that? You can't spam my chat. We would like to use my chat to talk. It's rude. You did distract me, though, from my point. Oh, cats and pets. Yeah. So you can, if you go somewhere, you see someone that needs your help, that's a different thing. Adopting someone because you can give them a rich life, that's not immoral. That's, if anything, that's amazing. All right. If animals are food, not friends, then do you eat dog? Do you eat bald eagle? Do you eat dolphin? Do you eat rats? Do you eat pigeons? Do you eat seagulls? Okay, can you explain yourself, Jay? You're just gonna call it out. You're not gonna explain it. Why don't you come up here? Is Nolan a child? I'll bring him up. Hey, Nolan, are you over 18? Hello? Okay.
Hey,
Oh,
hey,
okay. Are you over 18?
I'm 18, yeah.
What year were you born?
2006.
Why aren't you vegan yet?
Because I eat meat for protein that I need to survive.
So if I could tell you that you can find protein elsewhere, would you be willing to go vegan?
No, because it won't give me the right protein that I need.
What
I
protein
need
do you
meat.
what protein do you need?
Good protein that I get from meat.
So you don't even know?
Where do you eat
Not really. All I know
their
is that I eat
protein?
meat and it makes me feel good.
Okay, so this isn't about your sexual orientation, right? This is about animals that you're using.
I'm not using them though. They get killed and they get brought to me. I'm not.
He didn't even hear my joke. uh that was too funny.
I love these people in the Rust Belt. They're
Yeah.
just so damn smart, aren't they?
So
They
smart.
just don't even. Yeah, so smart.
Cool. Are you over 18?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Because I'm kind of crazy. I like hurting things.
I mean, so you
I
just
You
came
mean,
up
need.
here to be an idiot?
I like
You just came up
carnage.
you just
I'm a
you
psycho. I like
just came up here to be stupid? You just came up here to be an asshole? You're
I
so you're
mean,
you're an adult and you're up here sounding like an 8-year-old? Do you need to go talk to your mommy about
hey
why you need to
niggers,
not talk to strangers on the internet? Yeah, you can go cry in the comments.
hey niggers too.
Wow.
That's what I'm saying, man. He's probably a freaking you know.
You know, TikTok, I
That's
gotta
how.
say,
That's how Schmurder starts with people, dude, liking to hurt animals.
I mean, he thinks it's funny, but that really was a problem. The
Mm-hmm.
when we were enslaving each other, we were eating each other at the same time. There are cookbooks out there. So you're making a joke,
Mm-hmm.
but you're really just showing our awful history. Like, you're disgusting. You're the reason that
Yep.
we're embarrassed to be who we are. You're holding us back
Yep.
from what we could be. It's disgusting. I
That's
just
how
don't.
psychos are
I was
made.
gonna say, I just don't understand adults that act like this. What is wrong with you? Did your mom not hug you enough? Like, it's
Yeah.
crazy. Everybody needs talk therapy, and I mean that genuinely. We all need it. Viral vibes. Are you over 18?
Yes.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I mean, I would be open to going vegan, but there's just so much mass produced meat. This kind of stems from the guy you had before, the one you made a joke about his sexual orientation. He did ask a question. Well, he didn't ask a question. He made a reference to meat. Is meat a better protein than a vegetable? I don't know. That's what I'm asking. You
Yeah.
seem to know. That's why I'm asking.
So they actually had I don't know the name of the study right now. I should actually pull that up. But there is, if you go look for it, there's actually a graph that came out recently that shows all plants that we eat have all the essential amino acids. You just have to eat a varying amount of them or excuse me, they each have a varying amount of the aminos. So if you just eat a varied diet, you'll get everything you need a day. Just get your needed calories and eat a varied amount of things. You'll be fine. But if you're worried about it, the Vegan Daily Dozen actually covers that to make sure you eat, the right portion of different vegetables, fruits, and other things to make sure you get everything you need in a day.
I'm going to read that, but
Yeah.
I also have a question. Before I ask the question, I got to ask you: are you a medical professional?
No.
Okay, but you seem to have a lot of knowledge on the case, so I'm going to take that into consideration. So, if vegan, would you say vegan is the best way to live the healthiest lifestyle?
That's up to you.
Okay, I didn't know
the
that.
potential is there. The potential is there,
Yes.
The potential
absolutely.
is there.
Yeah, you can.
Yes.
I'm just.
So if you look at like the blue zones, those are the people that live the longest. They tend to eat predominantly a plant-based diet, if not 100%.
Yeah, I've actually looked into the Mediterranean diet, which is also the blue zone. Greek is blue zone.
Right. But I'm not vegan for
I've
that.
actually done
I'm
some
vegan.
research.
I was gonna say I'm vegan for the animals. That's why I'm here. I'm advocating for
Okay.
the animals, not a diet. We just happen to eat a
Okay.
plant-based diet.
Why does so much of the medical profession push people to receive protein from meat?
I think because most doctors have only like 2 days worth of nutrition background.
What about if it's a nutrition specialist? Because, example, I'm a
Because
diabetic
because most
and it's in my
nutritionists,
manifest.
because vegans make up a very tiny percentage of the world, and they're trying to get you in the door, right? They're going to try to feed you what you want to eat. So unless you go there and say I want to be vegan, right? They're going to include animal products because most people do that. So they're just catering to the majority. That doesn't mean that it's the healthiest. They're just going to give you the most lean. Like, I'm not here denying that you can be healthy using animals. So they're going to cater
Okay.
to the majority, right? But you can also be equally, if not more healthy eating plants, depending on how you eat. You could eat Oreos and soda, right? That's not healthy, but it would be vegan.
Exactly.
Yeah. But what I'm advocating
I've
for is
actually,
if you care about your health, that's great. Go on that journey, but you can do it without using sentient beings. That's my point.
so I agree with you, and I've actually made a conscious decision to eat 3 vegan days out of the week, which is harder than I thought. I started with vegetarian. So can I ask the difference between vegan and vegetarian? If no, nothing's being harmed. Well, except for captivity, I understand that as
It
well.
is being harmed, but you are on a vegetarian diet. You're still doing the harm because you're eating eggs, cheese, milk, and all that causes harm.
But does it harm to the animal?
Yes.
Yes, causes harm to
Okay.
the animal because the dairy industry is where it starts. They
And they're
take
in
the baby
captivity.
cows the first day the mothers give birth to many different, they give birth over and over again through their lifetime because that's the only way we can produce milk. Same with the woman. You have to be pregnant to produce milk. Okay, so they keep these cows pregnant, and every time their baby is born on that day, these farmers and these workers go in and pull these babies out away from their mothers and take them. And the mothers chase after them and cry and are depressed because this happens to them multiple times. And then after they're done doing that, in about 6, 7 years, they're spent. And cows can live up to 25 years or longer. Okay, so by 6 or 7, they're spent and they're still babies themselves, but they get artificially inseminated all the time. And that's great.
So what about the
That's
programs
against.
that? I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
It lagged, so I thought you quit speaking. I apologize.
Oh, go ahead. What were you going to ask?
So what about? So I'm from Tennessee originally, and I come from a family full of farmers, and there are I don't know what they're called, but they actually are supported now by a lot of people. It's basically a free range farm. They do have cows. They don't kill cows. They don't kill chickens. They're just like single group farms. Some groups participate, like other farmers in the area might participate and do like a co-op and trade between each other, but they have free range chickens, free range pigs, and they use them to graze on the farm, graze on the grass. They use like a lot of chickens for trash and garbage. What do you feel about those programs that I feel that are immune to I wouldn't say immune, but are in the right direction of doing a good thing?
So, why should we go through that kind of effort for these animals if we're just going to use them?
But we're using them and they're using us
I
because
asked
at
you
the
a
same
question.
time.
I'm asking you a question. Why should
Oh,
let's say I want to consume those products? You're saying the moral way to do it is to give them room and to treat them nice, correct?
correct.
Okay. Why should I, if I want to use those products, why should I go through that effort for the animals if I just want to use them?
For the moral consolation of it. I mean, you don't want to
Why
abuse
is
animals.
okay? So
I'm telling you,
why is your version more moral?
my version isn't more moral. This is my point of view. I'm not
Why
here to
is
argue. I'm here
why is that group of farmers better than say factory farming?
because they're not producing the animals to kill.
They produce eggs and milk in factory farming. So why is your version of farms, why are they better than the factory farms? Oh, go ahead, Freesia.
I was just going to say that those small farms that you're talking about, that's not something that can be scaled. And right now, the amount of flesh, the amount of cow's milk, the amount of eggs that humans want to consume is so great that there has to be factory farming in order to meet it. So those small scales are really just a segue into the larger scales of factory farming. And no matter what, you're still exploiting those animals. And veganism is a stance against the unnecessary exploitation of sentient beings. So that's what veganism is at its core. Does that make sense?
Makes sense. So what if there are more programs like I discussed? I know there's other programs out there that mass produce these animals on a large scale, but I did give an ideal of what I believe could be, I don't see a harm in this. The chickens, the cows, the pigs are all free range, nothing's been hot, and we're
Well,
using each and every
again, I
thing.
just explained that it's not scalable. It's not scalable, and it is still exploitation.
But I'm not scaling it. I'm saying for the individual.
Again, for the individual, it is not scalable. There are 8 billion people, and vegans only make up what, 1 to 3% of the population. So it's
Hmm.
not scalable to feed 8 billion people using that kind of system you're talking about with the current demand for the flesh and the eggs and the cow's milk. Like it's just
I
not, like it's not scalable. It's not something that can happen. So unless people really start seeing animals as someone and not something, and they no longer see them as commodities, and they no longer see them as a object that they can take from at their will, it's not doable.
would you say the same thing about vegetables? That's our commodity. That's something I'm asking an honest question. I'm trying to get feedback. I'm not implying any jokes. I'm not being rude. I'm asking an honest question based off what you said. Would you also apply that same thing to vegetables because they provide us with food and nutrients, and we use them for other things, agricultural purposes, soil purposes. We harvest them, turn them into farm raising land nutrients.
I understand where you're going with that. And again, I want to give you the definition of veganism, which is an ethical stance against the unnecessary exploitation of sentient beings. Vegetables are not sentient. Plants are not sentient. They cannot feel pain. They
Okay.
can't experience emotions. So they're in an entirely different kingdom, right? We have the animal kingdom. We have, fauna. Like that is a totally different kingdom. And so it's not the same thing. You're not exploiting the
I
vegetables.
see what you're saying. So
Does that make
let's
sense?
let's take yes, let's take out the masses from the subject. Would you say if there was if the how can I explain if the process for getting free range chickens, free range cows did become a thing, would that still be exploiting the animals?
Yes. Yes, it would still be exploiting them because exploiting at its core
Am I
is
exploiting?
what was that?
Would I be exploiting at this point?
If you're taking from them, yes, you are exploiting them. If you take their flesh, their lives, their eggs, their milk, then yes, you are absolutely exploiting them. If you test on them, if you use them for entertainment, for clothing, for any purpose like that, then yes, that is exploitation.
Fair assessment. I understand what you mean. See, I understand what you're saying, but I guess, it's hard for me to wrap around. It's hard for me to think like that because I'm given a scenario. Well, in my eyes, my point of view, I feel that I'm doing the right thing and harvesting these eggs from a chicken that isn't killed or hurt. I understand these eggs could lead to other chickens as well. But what if I
Harvesting their
had,
egg is harvesting
let's
their
say
eggs in their best interest or yours?
mine, but is me put, okay, so let's say I have free range chickens that are protected by livestock dogs. Would you say it's in the best interest for those chickens to be safer in that environment? Because they're much likely to get killed in the wilderness and wild.
So what we're proposing is that you don't breed them into existence anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. So what happens with
breed them.
yes. So what happens when you have your own animals, right? Is you're still participating in supply and demand because you have to somehow get animals to be on your land. You have to purchase them somehow, right? You purchase them from somewhere. Chickens in their specific scenario, specifically egg-laying chickens, if you buy them from a hatchery or even a farm, you're going to get all females, maybe a couple of males per group of females, right? But evolutionarily speaking, there should be a male for every female. So where are all the males? In big hatcheries, they grind them up in a macerator on their first day of life because they can't sex them until after they hatch. So if you get it from a hatchery, there's a blender blending up male chicks all day. And then if you get them from a farm, small farms will either tie them off in a bag, they'll crush them. Sometimes they can sell them off for their flesh, but roosters that are from egg-laying chickens don't make as much flesh, so they're not really profitable. So most of the time they're just unalived as soon as possible because it's like, why feed and put the resources into something that you don't care about, right? Like you don't need. So they just off
Yeah, I
them.
understand that well.
Yeah. So if you hear though the whole time, this is objectifying a sentient being. All of these actions are not in the best interest of that individual. They're completely in the best interest of the one doing the farming or the one paying the farmer, right? They don't. That's the issue. We don't do this to other humans because it's immoral to force your purpose onto someone else who has their own purpose. And animals have their own purpose. We can't understand them, so we just ignore their cries and do what we want to them. And we're trying to ask people to not do that anymore. You like recognize that you do relate with them and act how you would want your oppressor to act, Leave them alone, or would you want your oppressor to continue harming you? I would hope you would defend yourself, yeah.
So I have one more question. I am not a very religious guy, but I have an understanding that there are some pages from, I don't know what testament, I believe it's going to be the book of James, that I guess that reaffirms that taking, I wouldn't say taking life, but I mean, if you're saying it's a sentient being and I'm taking this life, it's saying that it's okay to eat meat. So
Yeah, but
how does that,
if you're
is
talking about
that a religious thing?
if you're talking about the Judeo-Christian religion, are you saying that this is truly where you get your morals from and that you worship God and you're trying to So it's pointless it's pointless to really bring it up to them. If someone is a Judeo-Christian, then I'll point out the Garden of Eden if you're just trying to talk to somebody else about it. Because the Garden of Eden was the most perfect creation in that story. And there was no death in there. Nobody used each other. Adam and Eve were purely stewards to take care of everyone and name everyone. And God said the fruits and vegetables are your food. And it wasn't until sin entered the picture that now God gave humans the permission to use animals as like a coping mechanism for survival in the harsh environment because they were kicked out of the garden, right? And even throughout the Bible, even though that God says you can use animals, he still says to do it sparingly and to not just cause them harm just for the fun of it. So honestly, to me, if I was reading that book, I would think that God is testing me. He showed what he thought was perfect, and then the individuals were given free will or took free will, right? And the whole point is like you should be closer to what God claimed to be perfect. So in the the face of temptation, you should be trying to not do these bad things. So even though you're allowed to do bad things, you should be trying to be what was perfect in the beginning, right? Which was not using animals, which was caring for each other, eating the fruits and the vegetables. So that's what I usually bring up
I
when it comes to
understand where you're coming
religion.
from.
But you can
No, I
also,
understand.
even in a more simple, broad term, let's say somebody had a Bible or a book, some religious text that's super old, right? It's verified that it's old and it's been in someone's culture for a very long time. If that book said that they can go out and dominate all women with blonde hair or something like that, right? I would not respect that, right? I'm in here. I don't, no culture, no religion will ever morally justify violating an innocent person's autonomy and using them without their consent, right? I don't care what your book says and how old it is.
Yeah.
So that's also another perspective. Like, even if your God says it's okay, I don't think it's okay. The victim doesn't think it's okay. And that's really the perspective we should be looking at any situation from. What's the victim want in this situation? So I've yapped I've yapped a lot at you, and I'm really sorry, but I am curious now. So
No.
what are your thoughts about
listen.
veganism?
I've learned a lot, and I am on board with the veganism. But if I'm being honest, it's a very difficult thing, which is why I started at 3 days. It was one day. I'm up to 3 days right now, and I've realized that I like the whole food solution more than the processed, because I feel like why make something that is similar to meat if you're trying to stop eating meat type thing? It just makes sense in my brain.
So those alternatives are great for when you are transitioning, because the reason to go vegan isn't necessarily health reasons. You can be super healthy if you want, but like I said, if you're seeing the oppression and you're like, I don't want to be a part of this, there's a way to separate yourself from that and still be very healthy. And this is a whole food diet thing, but even those those alternatives, the burgers or whatever, there are studies on those comparing them to their animal-based counterparts, and they still are healthier, even though they're a junk food. So just bear that in mind as well.
Of course.
Yeah, but
Well,
go ahead.
I live in Orlando, and there's a huge vegan community, and the burgers are way better than the burgers at the restaurant. I'm just going to be honest. I got the jackpot. But no, you're right. I appreciate you talking to me. I've learned a lot. And this is something I'm trying to journey on. And you're right. I don't eat my dog. So at the end of the day, I think, this is going to sound crazy, but I was on a farm like 6 months ago, and I met a cow. And it was the coolest cow I ever met in my life. And then I felt guilty. And this is kind of how I started the journey.
I'm pretty sure there are some sanctuaries around you, like farm animal sanctuaries. I suggest everybody go to one and just visit a cow, a pig, and a chicken, and like try to look at them as if they were dogs. You'll see they actually have very similar tendencies to dogs. They're very, they all have their own personalities. They like to play with certain different toys. But when you see them do it, go ahead.
And chickens. I used to have chickens, and they're the same way. They all have their each personality. They kind of run around. Some do their own thing. Some follow you. Some are loving. Some are just like dogs. Every creature has a different behavior.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And I was fortunate. I was fortunate when I was in elementary school to be able to hatch an egg in school when they let us do that and bring her home. And she was my best friend. She would play with me. I mean, I had a dog, and she would play with the dog too. They're no different than the dogs and cats we worship. No different.
Oh, that reminds me of a video I saw of a dog and a chicken chasing each other. And it was the cutest thing. They were like running around. I don't remember what it was. It was like
that's what mine would do too. But my dog, she was a boxer, and she'd lay over, and then she'd start licking. I called her Sparky, but she started licking her face and stuff like that.
Oh, that's so cute.
Well, I'm going to give up my space. It was good talking to y'all. I appreciate the information.
Muted, man. You're muted.
Sorry, make sure that you take a screenshot just so you have the resources.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you have a great day, Viral. I really appreciate you coming up.
You too. Thank you.
Bye. Awesome. Wow, it's nice to have open-minded people up.
I was just thinking that. I was like, oh man, like that was sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, it
No, it's
makes a
always nice to
difference.
hear. It makes a huge difference. It really does. And I love that he already had like those connections with, the cows and the chickens that he had met. Yeah,
Exactly. I
love that.
agree too. I'm like, oh yeah, exactly. Like the first time I ever met a cow, I mean, I was first like, whoa, you're massive. But then also, you see that they're like a horse dog. They also
Yeah,
have
they're big
tendency.
dogs.
Yeah, they're like big dogs, and I don't know. You start to see the cuteness in them. Like, I mean, they're cute before, but when you see them with their personality, there's just like this extra layer of like, oh my God, you're an individual. Hi.
Yeah.
I turned into
Yeah.
such
Come
a
up
dork.
and kiss you with that big old tongue.
Yeah, oh my God.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah.
So cute, so cute. All right, I'm gonna bring up another. Mr. Clapp, are you over 18?
Yes, I am. I'm actually 21. How do I turn on my camera?
Oh,
Is my
no,
camera on?
no, don't turn your camera on. I prefer if you didn't. I prefer when
Oh,
people don't show me. Yeah,
my bad. My fault. My fault.
that's okay.
Uh,
Some channels let that, but I prefer not.
okay,
why-
okay. I was
why
trying
aren't
to
you
validate
vegan?
that I am.
I
Actually,
appreciate
actually, I'm 22. I'm not 21. I forget. My birthday was just July. I forget how old I am. Uh, anyways, I was going to say, I'm sorry to come in here. I like what y'all are doing and how y'all talking, and y'all not like a lot of people, whether what side they're on the meat eating side, the vegan side, they're very argumentative and they don't listen to each other and they interrupt each other. I've watched how y'all communicate, and I really appreciate
So why
how
aren't you
y'all
vegan?
communicate. Why aren't I vegan? Well, actually, I can't eat plants like normal people. I actually have something called a short bowel syndrome, and plant-based things, plant-based meals. It actually, well, if you look at me, I'm like almost anorexic, borderline. Uh, I throw up a lot, and meat settles in my stomach a little bit better than vegetables. Vegetables actually make me really sick. So if I eat, especially like vegetables like watermelon or fruits, actually, well, that's a fruit. I'm sorry.
Do you think
Fruits like
that
watermelon.
do you think that other people that have healthy intestines that can eat vegan should morally be obligated to live vegan?
Uh, no, I don't believe so. We don't
Okay.
share. Well,
So
we have something.
why is it okay to view animals as resources and not humans as resources?
One, we're different from animals, and
How?
what I would say, we have a conscious mind.
Animals are
Unlike
conscious.
they are, but not to where they have a
So
conscience, an actual thing.
they
And
are
if you
conscious.
Google it,
So there's the Cambridge Declaration of Consciousness and the New York Declaration of Consciousness. Goes over thousands of behavioral studies and even looks at their anatomy. All the animals we use are very much more like us than we thought. They even have nociception, which is the
would you?
nerve endings that we have that tell us when we're experiencing excruciating pain, all the way down to fish.
Right.
All the way down to fish have that. So we know as soon as they're ripped out of their water, they're suffering immediately.
No, you're completely right about that. I kind of misworded it. I meant to say they don't have morals like human beings do. They
There are
don't have the
humans
same.
don't there are humans that don't have morals. Should we exploit them?
Yeah, they actually go to prison whenever they do something unmoralized. So if
No,
they
no, no,
kill
no, no,
somebody,
no. I didn't say that. I said someone who doesn't have morals. That doesn't mean they're doing criminal activity. They just don't have morals.
everyone
Should
has a moral to an extent,
No,
I believe.
there are humans that are, you could argue, not sapient. They are purely sentient. They are just experiencing the world, weighing out those experiences and making preferences. They prefer to be comfortable. They don't want to feel harm. Maybe they enjoy sitting out in the sun or playing with a toy, but they don't know what's right and wrong.
Yeah, I guess I can see your point there.
Those humans
But that's such a small percentage.
doesn't matter. We still bring them into the fold, right? Why do we make exceptions for this small percentage of humans that you described? You just said, right? If they're not to the same cognition, we can do what we want to them.
What do you mean by that?
That was what
I
you
don't.
said. You said animals are not the same consciousness. And I was trying to give you an example
I meant
of
you're
humans.
right. You're right. You have me wrong on that one. I said conscious. I should have said moral. They don't have.
Okay,
They don't
so
have morals
that
like
humans,
humans.
you did say that already, and I'm sorry, but my point still stands. This human doesn't have morals. Can I exploit them now?
Well, one, yes, of course that would be wrong because we have something the rest of the good humans or moralized humans, I would say, I wouldn't say one human is better than the other. I don't believe that. But a human with morals should not exploit a human without morals.
I
And we have
agree.
an understanding that they don't have
Yes,
morals.
there's terms for this actually. We are moral agents. We know that morality is complex. You and I, we can weigh out what's right and wrong, right? A child, for example, is not a moral agent. They're more like a moral patient. They're still sentient. They care about what happens to them, but they don't necessarily understand the complexities of morality. That's why we don't hold them to the same standards as an adult, right? Because they don't
Okay.
necessarily understand. Animals are much the same. That's why it's, they're,
Correct.
even though they don't have morality, they're still sentient, just like children. They still care what happens to them. And they're going to do things that are immoral because they don't always understand the complexities that we do.
And okay,
So,
I see your point in that regard of animals being basically like baby children. They don't understand
well,
like a human being.
any human,
I see
right?
that.
There are humans that are
Right.
totally cognitive, and if they get a bump on the head, now they're suddenly a moral patient as well, right? We still wouldn't exploit
Right.
them, right?
Exactly. Okay, I see your point there. And my argument to that would be it's just we put ourselves at the top of the food chain, right? Because that's where we're at because
Well,
of our
first, let's
intelligence,
talk
not
about.
because of our.
I feel like you might have a
Let me get to your
misunderstanding.
point.
Well, what is the food chain? Because you're using a term I don't
Okay.
think you know what it means.
Well, the food chain is basically how the life cycle works. Okay, one animal hunts another. This animal has no predators, and it's the apex that's going to be at the top of the food chain. We have ascended that because of our tools, our intelligence, and
So, what the food chain is actually is just showing the transfer of energy in any system, like an ecosystem. So you have the primary consumer, which is the grass, the secondary consumer, which is the herbivore, and then the third person, the carnivore. So all you're showing
okay,
is so the sun feeds the grass, and when the
okay,
herbivore eats the grass, the herbivore only gets about 10% of what it consumed or what went into the grass. It only gets 10% of that. When the carnivore consumes the herbivore, he's only getting 10% of that 10%. So he's getting 1% of the grass, the energy that went into the grass. So the
okay,
food chain, all you're showing with the food chain is the inefficiencies of using animals because we have to put all this resource, all these foods and water, we have to give them space, right? We have to grow all these plants to feed them. And then when we consume them, we're only getting 10% on average of what we put into them. So we're wasting 90% of our resources to consume someone else's body.
okay.
That's all the food chain really shows.
I see your point there.
It
But
doesn't show
I'm not
dominance like you're saying. Because
I'm not trying to.
if it did, lions would be at the top. We're like where shrimp are because we're omnivores. We're scavengers. We're
I can see your point there, and I'm not trying to be funny, but according to that logic, where if the herbivore consumes the plants, it only gets 10% of that, and we get 10% if we consume
10% of the
the
grass. Yes. So it's just
if
that
we
you get a smaller and smaller amount.
so if I you're basic according to that knowledge, I can just live off of grass alone
No, so the
or
point that
plants
I'm trying,
alone.
so yes, you can live off of plants alone, and we would save tremendous amounts of resources. There's a study on this. It's called Reducing Food's Environmental Impacts Through Producers and Consumers. Goes over thousands of farms in hundreds of countries, and they found that 83% of our current agricultural land is dedicated to raising animals and their food. So that's the space they take
Yes.
up and the food they eat. They found that if we stopped animal agriculture, we could reduce our agricultural land use by 75%. That means we'd only use less than 25% to feed the whole world and then some. We could feed up to 10 billion people on a fraction of our current ag land and use the rest for
Okay.
whatever.
Now that's theoretically speaking if these 10 billion people, excluding myself because I would be in the exclusion, could eat only plants, could only eat plants and live
Well,
off of
we
that.
would
I
find a
can
solution for you because it's not about that you need meat, it's that you need nutrition. That's all it is.
correct.
Yeah. So we would find a solution for you because right now, if we care about just the environment, right, animal ag is one of the leading causes because we're wiping out all these forests to feed the animals. Like, we're not going to last long doing this. That's why factory farming exists. That's why factory farming exists. It actually is more environmentally friendly than these larger organic farms because they reduce the land use, they reduce the water use, they reduce how much food they need because the animals get fatter quicker. And they even want to do it even sooner, so they're even more babies. Like, these animals are nowhere near, they're like a quarter of their possible lifespan when we take their life.
Right.
They're
Because
babies.
they are used as food. Yes.
I'm just saying, though, that they want to make it even earlier. They want to get these animals fatter quicker. That's why factory farming exists. So if we're going to keep using animals, we're really just going to end the whole planet because there's just not enough room, not enough water. We're already running out of water. A third of our fresh water goes to animal ag, right? Like, we're running out of space. 83% of our ag land is dedicated to these animals. It just doesn't make sense.
Well, I agree with you totally there, but wouldn't you say also the issue is just an increased expansion of the human population? There's just too many humans.
I just told you we could feed. So right now our population is only 8.5 billion, and we have starving
Correct.
people.
And we could feed 10 billion, like you said,
We could
with
feed
just
10
plants.
billion. Yeah, we
Okay.
could. And we can engineer food so that you can digest it properly. There are ways already, I'm sure, but I don't think you're actually properly motivated to even look to going vegan. Like, I've been spouting out environmental reasons, but honestly, environment to me is boring cardboard, okay? It's everyone does their little bit to help us get to our goal, right? That if you don't do something for the environment one time, you're not hurting anyone really, right? What
Right.
the real issue is that every time you use animal products, you're directly demanding someone's oppression. Even if using animals made the environment better, I would still argue for veganism because I personally, I'm a sentient being. I care what happens to me. I don't want to be enslaved. I don't want to be
Right.
exploited. I don't care if it makes the environment better. What makes you think the animals feel any different?
And that's a beautiful way to look at it. Like,
No,
you
no, it's
know,
not a beautiful way. It's the way. Like, have you ever considered their perspective? Have you ever put yourself in their place? What would I want if I was the victim?
Yeah, I can see your point, but that goes back to morals. I don't believe they understand life
So,
and death to the
is it
extent that
okay
we
then for me to exploit humans that don't have morals?
do. Those humans are typically protected. What do you mean by a
What?
human with no morals? Like,
I
okay,
already
let me
described the individuals. There are individuals with low cognition that don't understand morality. Children, people who have had accidents, elderly people that are losing their cognition.
Yes,
Yes.
but
So why
typically somebody,
why do we still respect them?
well, because typically somebody loves them. They have a family.
Let's say they don't
or
have a
they're
family.
human being.
Homeless
They're
person.
still a human being. As a country,
What?
I would say
Okay.
the United States
So let's
bases their
say
beliefs.
I have a homeless human in a fire and there's a dead body also in the fire. Who are you going to pull out of the fire?
The homeless human,
Exactly. Why?
because he's still alive.
Because there's someone in there, right?
Yes.
Yes, you can relate with them because you're having a subjective experience. And if you were that homeless guy, you would want to be saved or at least not exploited, right? You care.
Correct.
Yeah, because if it were you, you would want to be respected. That's all I'm saying with the animals. They have the same similarities.
Correct. I do believe that.
So why is it okay to exploit animals in your mind, but not exploit homeless people?
Well, okay, back to my point. United States, I would say, as a general, not everyone, they base their belief off of the Bible. Okay, and I know you probably
Are
don't
you
want to hear
religious?
this.
Are you religious?
Yes, I am religious.
So I want to be clear. Is it the Judeo-Christian religion?
I would say I'm more so just strictly based off of the Bible. You could say it's Christian. You could say it's,
Judeo-Christian. So
you could-
the
you could
beginning
call
of
it
your
whatever.
book, it doesn't matter. The beginning of your book, the Garden of Eden, was that the most
Correct.
perfect? Was that the most perfect creation?
that was when sin was not introduced into the world.
Right. Was that the most perfect creation?
Yes.
Right. There was
is
no
It
death.
wasn't the most perfect. It's just perfect
Yes, it was.
in general. It
Okay.
was perfect in general.
All right.
Perfect is perfect.
Perfect means flawless. Okay. No one
Yes.
harmed anybody in there. Nobody used each
Exactly.
other. The food was
Exactly.
fruits and vegetables. How do you not think that God is not just testing you right now by putting you in the face of temptation?
Because God does not
He
lie.
told you, what? He tests you all the time.
He may test you, but he doesn't lie
Oh,
to you.
so
In
he can. I
Genesis
didn't
9,
say lie. You're twisting my words. I said test. Stop twisting my
He may
words.
test you.
He's testing you right
No, but
now.
I didn't.
So I like how you suddenly just have to jump on my words and say that's a lie. I'm telling you, why wouldn't he be testing you by showing you this is perfection? Now go live in this world, and I want you to be as close to perfect as possible. Why would he make you and want you to be terrible? I don't think that's the case, right? Because if you sin, you go down to the bad place. You're supposed to be as good as possible, not mediocre. Like, this is why I think people that use religion are being disingenuous, because you don't genuinely care about what your God thinks. You use it as like a little deflection. You don't even know what your God wants. Let's just sum it up. I'm done talking to you about your God, because you clearly don't actually care about your religion. Even if your text says that you can dominate animals, it says you have to, in fact. I don't care. No religion, no culture morally justifies violating someone's body. I don't care if your book said that you can dominate women, right? I'm not going to respect that. You don't have rights over me, right? Even if your book said it, though. Even if your God said it's moral to take women by their hair and lock them in a room and now they are yours. I don't care. You don't have rights over this. The animals are much the same. They have the same inherent right. Just because your book says it's okay to do so doesn't make it moral. You have to justify it. Just because you have an authority figure, that's a fallacy. My authority figure says so. Well, your authority figure is flawed then, because that animal thinks it's wrong. They run from the knife. I feel like if God really wanted you to do it, he would have made them present themselves to you, right? They'd be like, hey, right there.
In Genesis 9:3. In Genesis 9:3, he says
Oh my
anything
God,
that
dude.
walks.
So you didn't hear anything I said. I don't care what your book says. I don't care.
Yeah.
Go
You
ahead.
don't want a genuine.
Go ahead, Lori.
I was just going to say your Bible also says to have slaves, and in turn, your children can have those slaves. So, I used to be a Christian too, but I'm not anymore because I see that book is just a made up fallacy from white men a long time ago. And if you really want to know where your religion came from, the true
Where does it
start
say you have
religion.
slaves?
Wait.
Where does it say that?
Wait. If you
I've read the
really
Bible
want to
4
know where
times
your
over.
true religion comes from, look up the Paleolithic stage. You can look it up. Religion started in Africa, and the Europeans brought it back to Europe, okay? And they made it their own. This is a book that's just been rewritten and rewritten and rewritten. I mean,
That
how
is
many
true, but by
Bibles
the
are there?
Catholic, by
Over
the
4,000 Bibles. Or religions, excuse me. So you really need to look at where your book started. Look up the Paleolithic stage.
Well, actually, the religion of the Bible started in the Middle East, and that is where
Because
we
they
base our
took
religion.
it from
The
they took it from
Christians.
Africa. They took of it from Africa and went back to Europe with it.
Wouldn't
Mr.
you
Clapp,
say?
Clapp,
Isn't
do you
Africa in the same damn near, basically
hold
the
on,
same continent
Mr. Clapp,
as
Mr.
Egypt?
Clapp, do you
Okay,
do you follow the Old or the New Testament?
I follow both. You're supposed to follow the New Testament. That's the new law, and Jesus ate meat.
Okay, so you follow the new one, and you agree with everything that's in the new one?
Yes.
Yes. So you think that women must learn in silence and not have authority over men?
Yeah, I do believe that.
You do believe that? Wow.
Oh, okay.
Wow. So
Kick
then you
this
also
guy.
believe, yeah,
That's
wow.
bullshit. That is bullshit.
Wow.
Fuck.
Wow.
We
Well,
should
no
have just got
wonder.
to that point, Freesia.
Yeah,
Then
that
we would have
was
not wasted so much
that would have
time on
saved
this
me
guy.
time, man. You were right on the button. Yeah. Wow.
Damn.
He doesn't even understand
Thank
human
you.
rights. That's crazy.
Nope.
That, wow.
Well, I bet you if he has a wife or something, he probably beats her and
Yeah,
keeps
if
her
she speaks up.
subservient to him. Yeah,
I mean,
she
according
probably
to
keeps her
him,
subservient to him, or maybe he doesn't because he calls himself Mr. Clap. I kind of wonder what Clap stands for. Seriously. Come
well,
on.
I mean, it also says in there that wives are to submit to their husbands as the church submits to Christ. So, yeah,
Exactly.
definitely
You
believes
got
in the
some.
subjugation of women.
That's a crazy fucking book. Exactly. I mean,
that-
snakes talk, people walk on water. Come on, give me a damn break.
Is that
I'm not getting my morals from that book.
what you quoted, Freesia? Is that from the Newer Testament?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Wow. I used to be Christian, but I was one of those Christians that never read the Bible. I just believed whatever was told to me. And I left it because, first of all, they had this fake community to begin with. And I don't know if all churches feel that way, but to me, it just was all a facade. They never felt genuine, like they cared. But, oh my God, I left it. And then I'm like,
that way.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
Okay.
They are all that way, and they do it because they don't get taxed, and they can keep the money and everything else. It's a vicious cycle.
Yes, I actually keep learning about the power that they have, and but hearing these quotes from the text, I'm just like, wow, people use their religion as a justifier, but most of them don't know this. And it's like, if you have read it so much, you would know that it says it's okay to do these things. How can you say that it's okay to do that to somebody? I guess if you read it from the perspective of an oppressor, if you're a man and you're like, oh, women have to submit to me, I guess that makes you feel good and you want to support that because you benefit from that system. But God, that's just so effed up. That's disgusting. How can you be like, oh, my benefits? Ooh, I'm not going to stand up for others' rights because I benefit from it. Ugh. God, just gross. It's gross mindset. Okay. I think I'm okay.
I tell you, people from the Bible Belt, the Rust Belt, they're all the same.
I have faith in them, though. I think there's genuine principle in there. It's just that we've been told to ignore our principles for so long. We're focused on being on a team instead of what's right and wrong. Make sure. Okay. Jazz.
Hello.
Hey, are you over 18?
Yes, I am. I'm 21.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Well, I kind of want to go off the first topic that you are on the conversation with the other guy.
Well, first answer my question, and then I'll answer whatever you want to do.
Yes, ma'am. What's the question?
Why aren't you vegan yet?
Why? Because I believe that God, because I'm gonna bring in religion as well, created all animals for just all things that He brought on earth as a seed for us to have for our nurture. So I mean that's just simple. We need protein. We need the nutrients that animals provide. Like that's a natural cycle, just like how anything in nature in general just is in a natural cycle. That's how it's supposed to work.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you, do you get all your morals and ethics from the Bible?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so are we going to do the same thing where you also think that women must learn in silence and not have authority over men?
Women having authority over men? No, women are equal when it comes to having, I have a wife, and obviously I value her words just as much as she values mine. Her opinions matter to me, and that's how it's supposed to work in any relationship. In the Bible, it says that a man and a woman are supposed to be cohesive with each other in the household of man.
Actually, it says wives should submit to their husbands even if the husbands are disobedient.
In the household of men, what do you mean?
Come on, I built.
This is your thing.
Sorry, what'd you say?
This is Ozark's thing.
This is what?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask you really quickly. Do you derive your ethics from the Bible?
You're asking me?
Yeah, you're the one invoking the Bible as a justification for exploiting others. So I'm asking, is that where you derive your morals from?
Yes.
All right, cool. So I'm going to read you a passage really quick and then ask you a question afterwards. It's Leviticus 25:44-46. Your male and female slaves are to come from the nations around you. From them you may buy slaves. You may also buy some of the temporary residents living amongst you and members of their clans. born in your country, and they will become your property. You can bequeath them to your children as inherited property, and you can make them slaves for life, but you must not rule over your fellow Israelites ruthlessly. Is slavery ethically permissible?
No.
Why not? The Bible
Also,
says
you have to
it
you have to
is.
read that. You have to read the entire verse before that as well, because it doesn't say that the women are the slaves of man.
No, I didn't. It never said anything about women being slaves. It says non-Israelites. Are you an Israelite?
I am not an Israelite. No.
So would it be? Is it ethically permissible for your family that are not Israelites to be enslaved by Israelites?
I mean, if that's what is that in the Old Testament?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm sure. There's things that have changed since the sacrifice.
I could read you one
Christ,
from the New
so.
Testament if you want.
I mean, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, I kind of want to just get on the topic that we were having before about wives being submissive.
Well, this is part of the topic that you brought up.
Okay.
So that's why I'm asking you if you derive your ethics from the Bible. And I provided one because the passage about consuming animals is specifically in the Old Testament, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you just cherry picking what's like acceptable based on what you deem to be acceptable out of the Old Testament, or is the Old Testament law? Do you follow the Ten Commandments?
Hello?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. I don't.
We can't hear you if you leave the app, Jazz.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I was gonna read really quickly. Ephesians 6:5-9. Slaves, obey your earthly masters with respect and fear, and with sincerity of heart, just as you would obey Christ. Obey them not only to win their favor when their eye is on you, but slaves of Christ, but as slaves of Christ, doing the will of God from your heart. Right, serve wholeheartedly. So that's in the New Testament as well. So nowhere in the Bible does it specifically prohibit slavery, but it does give instructions. It does say not to steal and not to unalive people, but it doesn't say don't keep slaves, which is another form of exploitation. And it seems like you're kind of cherry picking the forms of exploitation that you believe to be acceptable, but the ones that you don't believe to be acceptable, you're saying like, yeah, no, I don't really accept that. So you either derive your ethics from the Bible or you don't. You said you did. So if you do, you have to concede that those forms of exploitation are also ethically permissible.
You know what? Yeah, you're right. If that's how it's supposed to go, then that's how it's supposed to go. I mean, we don't create the rules. We follow.
So you believe in human rights violations then too? You think those are ethically permissible?
What do you go in depth in that? What do you mean?
Slavery is a human rights violation. And if that's the way it ought to be because the Bible says that, that means you believe that human rights violations are ethically permissible. So I just want to clarify your position.
Do we have slavery today? Do we have slavery today?
Does it matter? The Bible permits it.
I mean, there's been plenty of people who have.
The Bible permits it, right? Like, why are you deflecting away from the answer? If the Bible is where you get your ethics and it's acceptable to exploit others based on that, you have to concede that you believe that it is ethically permissible. Do you or do you not?
Yes, there have been plenty places all over the world.
So you just to clarify before we move on, you believe that human rights violations are ethically permissible?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, you're a garbage person. I have nothing else to say to you. You are morally bankrupt.
Wow.
Into absurdity. Whoa.
Second one in a row. Second one in a row. Oh my God.
Yeah, crazy how they adjust their ethics. Sorry about the noise. I'm making breakfast right now, but I saw the opportunity to come up and just
You did, Ozark.
reductio absurdum that dude.
I mean, Freesia also made great points because it says, you know, like a woman needs to be quiet and submissive to her husband, like the church is to Christ. And we were trying to see if he felt the same, and he was trying to say that I feel like his wife was in the room.
Yeah,
Like, that's why.
I think I was missing that. I was like invited up, and then I heard Lori like invoking my name, so I just hopped in. So I apologize if I cut in over
you got the Bible
anybody.
stuff down better than anybody that I've heard so far, but I'm sure Freesia does too.
But you both had it.
Knows part.
You both had
I mean,
Yeah.
I've read the Bible a few times, but I don't remember a lot of it. Some of it,
Yeah, I
not all.
apologize if I interrupted you, Freesia.
No, you're all good. You didn't at all. Yeah, I only remember like certain little things from it because
Me
they're
too.
bad.
Certain little things, and they're all the bad things.
Oh my gosh.
Basically.
Well, and it's like, it's fine if you, I understand that some people understand context or whatever. I really don't care what people's religion is. It's just when they use it to justify violating someone, I can't stand that. And it's like, you can't use your book as this justifier to everybody else to violate someone. It just doesn't make sense, because then it's my book versus your book, and yeah, it's not about
Well, that's why I
morals.
specifically asked if they like particularly derive their ethics from the Bible before going down that, because if they don't, then I'm not gonna
Exactly.
just do that. But he was like so
Exactly.
convicted in that statement that I had to. I
Yeah.
felt obliged.
No, exactly. It's just like there's hypocrisy here. Are you sure you really want to say this is your book of morality? Because there's some flaws there. Like, you can't think for yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I feel like a lot of times the answer to that is, oh, well, it was a different time. It's like, okay, well, then why are you talking about how humans used to hunt animals, thousands of years ago? Like, that was a different time. It's 2020, like it's 2025. Can we move on?
Suddenly
know.
now it's context, guys. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. All right, you
For
guys.
context, you're saying context in that instance, but you're not willing to give that consideration elsewhere.
Exactly.
Right,
Exactly.
exactly.
You guys ready for the next one?
Always.
Let's do this. The Void.
Hello.
Hi. Are you over 18?
Yes, I'm 21.
Okay, right on. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Well, the only reason, I just really, most of the food I eat, are animal products.
Okay.
I just like the way they make me feel, the way they taste, and that's pretty much it.
Do you recognize that animals are sentient?
Yes.
Okay. And do you know what sentience means?
Yes.
All right. Go ahead and tell me, just so I know we're on the same page.
Sentient, I'm assuming like a living thing with feelings or things, something like that.
Yeah, it's pretty close. It's the ability to have subjective feelings. They can feel pain, they can feel joy, feel loss.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So animals are sentient. Do you understand that humans are sentient?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. Do you think that there's anything that we actually need from animals
Um,
that we can't get elsewhere?
I know obviously the whole protein thing, but you can also get protein from different foods. I'm assuming like what, chickpeas or something.
I mean, all plants actually. They did a study that came out showing all plants have all the essential amino acids. You just have to eat a varying amount of all the plants.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, so I guess not. Not that I know of at least. It's just more accessible, I guess, to a lot of people.
Yeah, the convenience. So,
Yeah.
So since we know that animals can feel, and we know that we can feel in a similar way, we're all having our own subjective experience, and we're weighing out those experiences and making preferences. What justifies the difference in treatment when it comes to animals and humans? In that, why is it okay to farm animals but not farm humans?
That's true. I think that humans in general are more complex creatures. I don't agree with a lot of the treatment that, for example, like a lot of chicken farms, or I know like for pigs, for a lot of animals, their treatment is not okay to me. So a lot of the food I eat, I try to make it halal meat. But yeah, you're right.
So if we care about their experiences, right, we go that extra effort to purchase those products that were nicer to them because we care.
Yeah.
Then knowing that we don't need anything from them and taking their life, that becomes the exploitation. That is, the immoral action, because you're taking from them what they didn't consent to.
Okay.
For your own benefit. Okay.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Yes, of course.
Okay. I'll let you ask.
Go ahead.
Then, and
sorry,
then
go ahead.
Void,
Go ahead.
ask your question, and then Lori, I want you to ask your question.
Oh,
Okay, go. Go ahead.
My question would be then, like for other animals, like in the animal kingdom and the food chain, blah blah blah. Like, would you say that that isn't morally right as well?
I Are you talking about predation? Just animals hunting other animals?
Yes.
Yeah, I do see that as immoral, but I don't hold
Okay.
animals to the same standard as a moral
Okay.
agent adult because they don't
Yeah.
understand the same complexities as moral agents. Go ahead and ask your question,
Okay.
Lori. Lori.
I was just wondering, are you Muslim?
No, I am not.
Okay, because you mentioned halal. Now,
Yes.
what makes you think halal meat is any different than the standard that we use?
Based on what I've seen and what I've looked into, it's just that they not only is the meat blessed, but it's sourced differently.
You know what they do?
No,
They
halal
do the
meat.
same. They do the same thing, and no matter what it's blessed with, it doesn't matter because it's just making them feel better. Okay, when you bless an animal after you murder it, you're just making yourself feel better, basically. But halal meat is just as horrific as what we do to animals. It's just as horrific, except they don't do it as fast as we do. And
Okay.
all they do is, and the animal goes in, and there's blood on the ground. The animal can smell it. The animal can hear it. And what they do is they slit the throat and let it bleed out. That's the only thing that's different. They
Okay.
don't have, that kind of a death is just as bad as getting a bolt gun in your head and having it miss.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah, so halal is just that they're not stunned prior to being unalived.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
But yeah, I mean, sorry.
No, well, I was just going to say, if you can, try to find footage online after this. Just look up anywhere you can. Try to find halal slaughter and watch it and ask yourself if you really do want to even support that.
Yeah. I mean, I think you're right. I mean, um, there really isn't. I mean, there really isn't any nutrients from meat that you can't get. I'm assuming anywhere else that you need, I guess. So yeah, I mean, besides the fact that it's more convenient and accessible, there really isn't anything else to say about that.
Yeah, and so as far as your convenience goes, what matters more, or I guess what's more important, your convenience or the animal losing their life? Who has it harder? The one
No, you're
that,
right. The animal, yeah.
yeah. So I guess from that, like, how many more animals do you want to exploit?
You're right. I think I'm definitely gonna look into this. The resources that you listed up there, like, is that the first in a movie, I'm assuming, or a documentary?
Yeah, so it just shows you what's legal, what's under those labels, and what is allowed. So you can ask yourself as a informed consumer, if you go back into the store, because they want to lull you into buying their products, right? They put happy animals everywhere, so you envision in your mind that they're happy. So if you watch this, you'll know actually what those labels mean, and you won't just paint a picture that benefits the corporation. You'll know what it is that you're demanding if you take those home. But you should always ask yourself if you were them.
There's no such thing as grass fed or free range. That's just words that these people have made up because that's not how it happens. Not what happens.
Yeah, like like grass fed, they can give them pellets that are grass, and that's technically grass fed. So they're still, harvesting something and putting it in a trough for these animals, and that can still be considered grass fed. So it's just good to know, though, what those labels actually mean, human raised, all that. If you do
I'm
watch
definitely
it,
gonna
though,
check that out.
if you do, please reach out to me. I would love to answer any questions you have or just know how it changed you if it did it at all.
Of course. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming up, Void. Thank you for
All right,
asking
bye.
good questions. Bye. Like I said, I do appreciate people willing to look at resources. But I don't know. I still expect people, like, when they hear what's happening to be like, oh, I really don't want to be a part of that. Drew. Oh, it's taking a second. Oh, Drew. Oh, there you are, Drew. Are you over 18?
Yes.
What year were you born?
2006.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Well, why should I be vegan?
For the animals, because they can feel pain and they want to be free.
But the purpose here was for me to eat them, so why would I eat them?
I mean,
I get dogs and cats.
You could eat humans. You eat dogs and cats?
No, I said I get dogs and cats. Like, why you wouldn't eat a dog or cat?
Oh, why not?
Because the dogs and cats are like, they're lovable. Like they're meant. The dogs and cats. They didn't come. They what's the word I'm looking for? They evolutionized from lions down to like cats. They're here for. Sorry, hold on. I have a little stuttering issue, so I stutter sometimes. Sorry, but the purpose of a dog or a cat is to love them. You can love a cow, right? You can love a cow, but if the cow,
who draws these lines? Who says what animals we do what with? Who says that?
It's in the Bible.
The Bible says you're going to take care of dogs?
I'm not talking about dogs. I'm talking about the animals that you eat.
So I can eat
That's
dogs?
in the Bible. You can, if you want to eat a dog, go ahead. You shouldn't.
Is it moral?
How is it not moral though? Let's just say you're a homeless person.
Hold on, Drew. You asked a question.
Sorry?
Why is it immoral to eat a dog? It's immoral.
Oh, you're asking me a question, or you answered my question?
It's kind of both, but I can answer it for you. It's immoral to eat a dog because they're sentient and they care about their life. And because we have dogs in our homes, we recognize their personalities, their uniqueness, their sentience. We relate with that. Okay, so dogs are no different from cows. Why is it morally, in your mind, wrong to eat a dog, but morally okay to eat a cow?
Well, if I didn't know I was eating a dog, would I feel if I figured out that after I ate a dog, yeah, I would be upset about it.
Why?
But a cow,
Why? What's the morally relevant difference between the dog and the cow?
You make a good point.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point. The whole point is you can make a change. I know it's a societal norm. I know everyone tells you it's normal to eat animals, but we can look at our habits and we can realize, oh, we're hurting someone. Even though we've been doing this for a long time, we're violating someone's inherent rights and we can make change. So as a personal principle, I avoid demanding someone's oppression when I can. What's stopping you from living the same way?
There is nothing, but I'll be honest, I wasn't here to talk about the veganism. I was here, whoever made the comment about the guy who he was talking about Christianity or in the Bible, and you were like, the woman that's in the Bible, it said that the woman should submit to their husband.
That's
correct?
what it says in there, yeah.
But you misinterpreted it. It does not mean that you should submit, bow down, and only listen to the husband. It means you should follow it. Let the husband guide you. Let the husband guide you.
Oh, that's better?
Hold on.
That's better?
Hold on, curiously, where did you
Yes,
derive
it is.
that interpretation?
I would love, if I was a woman, I would love for the husband to guide me.
Drew, where did you derive that interpretation from that you're making up right now? Yeah, that's kind of weird in itself, but
Continuously read that verse and then read the rest. Read the whole chapter, and then you'll understand.
Hold on, Drew. I'm really, honestly, I'm really shocked and offended that you would say that if you were a woman, you would want to be led by a man. Like,
wait,
no. Hold on. Do you want to be led by someone?
I would love. Why wouldn't you want someone to lead you? How do you learn things? How do you learn things? Your teacher leads you.
Hold on, as you are, right? Why? Okay, there's a lot of things to unpack.
There's a lot not of things a teacher, Drew. You are not a teacher.
You don't know nothing.
Drew, I want you to slow down for a second. Just slow down for a second. And
there's mic delay, so I get quiet.
Saying.
But then you think I'm talking over you, but I'd already said that there's mic delay. That's the issue.
Okay, so Drew, so let's go back to what I had just asked. So, do you want someone to lead you?
If I needed leading,
no,
yeah.
not if, just in your life, do you want someone to lead you?
Lead me where?
Just lead you.
In general.
Be a leader for you. Do you want to have to listen to someone else and have them be your leader? or do you want
You're
autonomy?
interpreting it. See, you're thinking
No,
by
no, no.
leader.
I'm asking
No,
you.
listen. You think
I'm
leader.
asking you, do you want autonomy or do you want to be forced to follow someone else? You're muted. You can unmute yourself and answer the question.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know my mic was muted. Being a leader doesn't just mean you force.
Drew, I need you to hear my question again.
I hear your question, but
Okay. Can you repeat?
elaborating on it.
Can you repeat the question back?
You said, would you want somebody to lead you?
Or would you want your autonomy?
I don't know what that word means, so I'm asking.
Like, do you want the ability to make your own decisions based on what you need in your life and your body? And like, that's what autonomy is, like to be able to make your own choices. Do you want your autonomy respected or do you want to have to listen to someone else?
I would love to have my autonomy respected, but can I continue saying what I was going to say?
Hold on. No, you just answered it. So no.
No, I actually didn't.
Hold on.
Because here's the thing. You can lead somebody and also... No, listen, don't cut me off. I let you speak, it's my turn. I let you speak, it's my turn, just like with the other guy.
No, Drew, you want your autonomy respected. So when you say that if you were a woman, you would want someone to lead you, no, you don't. Because women we want our autonomy respected. We don't want to have to listen to someone else. We want respect. And for you to say, as a man, to come up here and say that if you were a woman, when you have no idea what it's like to be a woman, to have to follow someone else and obey them, no. Well, you did say if you were a woman, so.
Wait, can I hold on. No, I fully hear what you're saying. Can I continue speaking?
Like, what a weird take. Like, wow.
I was hoping that he was going to actually back it up by saying, you know what, no, I'm not for it. But he just kept digging deeper. And I was like, wow, dude, like, really? You're really going to keep going?
When he went to the whole who said I'm a man, like, after clearly stating, well, if I was a woman, then...
Yeah. Like...
I am sorry, ladies. That was disgusting.
That was. I probably should have kicked him way long ago, but I felt like Freesia was really, like, I thought maybe there was a chance you might get him to hear his illogicalness.
I think I just wanted to yell at someone for a second.
No, well, it's valid, though, because he's up here saying that women should submit to him, and he's like, you're misunderstanding. Like, no, you're not listening. What if it said you are going to submit to somebody? You have to follow somebody. You would be just as offended. You'd be like, no.
Like, no, I'm not going to follow someone. No, I want my autonomy. Just like everyone else does. And just like all the animals do. We all want our autonomy.
Yeah, I don't need a teacher to follow me around, thank you.
Exactly.
Oh my God. That's crazy. Sad.
Yeah, there was so many wild implications packed in that one sentence that he made.
So much just packed in there. That was definitely jaw-dropping. Hey, Sab, are you over 18?
No, but can I ask a question?
Oh, no, you can ask it in the chat, though. I'm sorry, I can't talk to minors. It's just, I don't want you to have a habit of talking to people that are older because you might run into a predator and they're dangerous. They're manipulative. Sawyer, are you over 18?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Honestly,
shit. I can't hear you. Your mic cut out. Also, I'm really sorry. I have too many vegans, but I'm gonna leave you all up here for now. But anybody else that requests, I'm not bringing anybody else up.
If you need to drop me for panel,
I think it's
whatever,
fine for
that's
now.
fine.
If it gets chaotic, I'll say something.
I can drop you.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, I think someone just dropped anyway. Who dropped?
Anna.
Oh, Annabelle. Oh no, you don't need to be sorry. I felt bad because I wasn't counting and I just brought you right up. I just want to keep it at 3.
I'll drop down so they can come up. It's not a big deal.
Okay. We can rotate around too. Sawyer, I still can't hear you. Maybe they're trying to leave. I'll drop you.
Is that better now?
Oh no! Wow, that was so delayed. Like I dropped you and then I could hear you. I don't know what happened there. If you want to re-request, I'll bring you back up. Let's see, I think you're right there. I can invite you. Oh, Anna, don't feel bad. Please don't feel bad. I feel bad because I was like, oh, I just realized I overpacked my panel. I just brought you up because I like having you guys up on my panel. I just know that it can be overwhelming for some people that are non-vegan and I don't want to. You're welcome to come up though. Ozark, step down. Hey, Sawyer, is it working now? Oh no, I can't hear you at all.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, it's really choppy. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah. What about now?
Okay, it sounds like it's pretty good. We'll try it out. If I can't understand you, I'll speak up. So why aren't you vegan yet?
Okay. Honestly, it's because I haven't had people
Oh no.
and kind of just beef and meat everywhere, and I try to go, and I want to do it because it just makes sense to me. Compare like the dog and out like you guys do.
Oh.
If we took dogs and forced them to have babies and killed their mother shortly after, we would see that as a bad thing.
Right. Sawyer,
I'm trying. But
I'm really sorry. I can barely understand you. We're just getting little bits here and there.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm so sorry. I think we're going to have
I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, I don't know what to do because I can't understand you. I'm going to drop you. If you can maybe totally shut out the app and then come back, I'll bring you back up.
Okay, cool.
Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and drop you. Man, that is so delayed. I don't know what's wrong with TikTok. That is crazy. All right, Ryan.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That was unfortunate too, because like he did say something about being in Texas and like wanting to go vegan.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, I want to talk to you. Come back,
I know,
please.
right?
That really sucks. Ryan, are you over 18?
Yes.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I guess I just wasn't raised around. I was raised on a cattle ranch, so.
Okay. Do you recognize that animals are sentient?
Sure. I believe that they have their own rights, but I just like everybody else that's came to talk, I believe that we should be able to eat them.
All right, so sentience means having the ability to experience subjective feelings like pain or joy. So animals have been shown to be sentient. There's the Cambridge Declaration of Consciousness and the New York Declaration of Consciousness, and they go over thousands of studies. So we know that animals are more like us than we thought. They're sentient. They care about what happens to them, and they make preferences, just like us. We make preferences, right? We're sentient. We want to avoid harm. So knowing that we're very similar in the things that matter, what morally justifies continuing to enslave and use them without their consent, but not do that to humans?
But how would we receive consent?
Right. So the fact that you can't get reliable consent from them, right? That doesn't give you consent to do what you want to them. That means you should abstain because they cannot consent to their treatment. If a woman is passed out and cannot consent to you, that means you don't get to do what you want to her body, right?
True.
She can't consent. So it's the same thing for the animals. Just because they can't consent doesn't mean that now we have the right to dominate them.
I guess that I'm just like, I'm at it with the Bible standpoint. I was raised Christian, you know?
Okay. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, no religion morally justifies violating someone's body. There are religions that violate women's bodies. And if I was around those religions, I wouldn't respect that part of their religion because I'm in this body. I don't care what their preferences are. I have my own preferences. And for them to force their preferences on me just because it's religious is still immoral.
Right. I agree.
So just because your religion says that it's okay, you're forcing your purpose onto someone else. And that's not fair.
Okay, so I have a question. So without eating or killing animals, right? what would happen to animals?
Well, sadly, it won't happen overnight, but let's say it did.
Let's say it did.
If suddenly the majority of the world was vegan, that means most people see animals and recognize their sentience. That means that we would come together and figure out a solution to best take care of them. We would consider their best interests. An idea could be that we take the money that we pay in taxes to fatten them up and just pay the farmers to be sanctuaries, to genuinely care for the animals until they pass away on their own. The longest lived of these animals are cows. They live to maybe 20 years. And what we've done to them genetically, they may not even make it that far. Chickens, they pass away, they can live up to 8 to 12 years. So in about 20 years, just taking care of these animals and they're not procreating, there wouldn't be any more of these domesticated animals, and we wouldn't have to talk about whether it's moral or not to use them, because they just won't exist.
There wouldn't be any more cows. There wouldn't be any more chickens.
I mean, if they happen to mate and they have offspring, whatever. But I'm saying we wouldn't be forcefully making them mate. We would be trying to avoid putting them in situations where they're procreating because their babies are dependent on us, right? That's what domestication means. And it's not fair to force someone into existence that has to rely on someone. That's not fair.
As I said before, I was raised on a cattle ranch, and the babies weren't dependent on me. They were dependent on their mothers.
Right, but you guys were only putting females and males in situations where they would reproduce
at certain times of the year.
Right, when you wanted more babies. If I did that with a human, what would you call that?
Well, that's
grape. You call it grape.
Yeah, I guess.
So why is it okay for the animals but not okay for humans?
There's also like only a certain time of year that they can.
That doesn't matter.
Recreate.
Why is it okay in your mind to lock females in with randy males so that they produce offspring that benefit you? Why is that moral?
I don't know. Like I said,
It's not.
It's a money game.
Exactly, but human slavery was also a money game. Does that mean that we shouldn't stop slavery because someone was making money off of it?
No, I totally believe that you should stop slavery.
Exactly, because someone is suffering. Doesn't matter the benefits. Someone has lost their freedom, their autonomy. They have their own purpose. Right. So that's why it's wrong to have human slavery. The same applies to animals. They're sentient.
I guess
have their own purpose.
I guess that the only problem that I have with it is that I'm a firm believer in like conservation, right? And if you aren't, that's fine too. Like I said, I like everybody's opinion, no matter what it is.
I'm about
conservation,
sentient
to keep
rights,
the animals,
and then environment. Sentient rights and then environment. Okay.
I want the environment to be healthy, which actually taking some of the animals is making the environment more healthy because of the.
So I want to get this straight.
You think the footprint that humans have put on this on Earth.
You think animal agriculture is helping the environment?
No, I don't. So I actually harvest my own. I was born on a cattle ranch, everything like that. I don't do the supermarket meats and stuff like that.
No. Okay. So you clearly haven't looked into this. So currently 83% of our agricultural land is dedicated to raising animals and their food. That's including factory farming. Do you know why we have factory farming?
Yeah, to mass produce.
Not just to mass produce, but to reduce the footprint of the mass production. They use less water per animal, less land, less feed. They get the animal fatter quicker. That's why factory farming exists. Doing it with more land.
Feedlots and whatnot. Yeah.
Right, but doing the larger farms. So I told you, we use 83% of our agricultural land for animals. Mm-hmm. Are you saying you want to expand that to like 100% of our agricultural land dedicated to animals? Because doing it in the small farms, right, where they have more land, right? The animals take longer to get to slaughter weight. They require more water, more time, more land. So it's not scalable, right, to even do it your way. So if anything, what you're doing is painting a myth that it's that it's possible to be sustainable, but it's not. It's not
No,
sustainable to use
that
animals.
was okay.
If
Well,
you said you care
I
about
guess
the
I'm talking
environment,
more.
you said you
I'm
care about the
talking
environment.
more of like wild animals.
Okay, so the wild mammal.
Deer, elk.
Okay, Ryan, the wild mammal biomass. 4% of the total wild or of the total mammal biomass is wild. 60% is animals that we farm. So you're going out into the wild and wiping out what tiny wildlife we have left to
One
avoid.
at a time.
Yeah, you want to wipe out the wildlife? That's your goal?
No, I said that I am taking them one at a time.
Yes, but so is everyone else with the factory farming.
No, that's like 30, 40, maybe even 100 at a time.
So you're telling me you purely eat your deer. You don't eat any other animals.
No, I don't eat any other animals.
So, okay, so you don't, so let me get this straight. So you don't
Liar.
consume any other animals besides the ones that you decide to unalive yourself,
Yes.
who do not need to be unalived. You're deciding to do that. And let me guess, so do you consume eggs? Do you consume any sort of dairy? Do you consume or use any products that were tested on animals? Do you wear leather? Do you buy leather? Do you use animals for entertainment? Do you get entertainment?
I'm not talking about
Do
wearing
you-
leather. I'm talking about eating meat.
Yeah, and we're talking about veganism, which encompasses everything that I'm saying.
Oh,
So
well,
when you go hunting, do you get entertainment from that?
Yeah, I love it.
Exactly. So you're exploiting animals. We don't use animals for entertainment. We believe that that is wrong.
It's not entertainment.
You just said you love it.
I do love it. I love the pursuit, the
And
challenge.
would that not be entertainment?
Sure, I guess you could say it's entertainment.
Okay, so you are exploiting animals for entertainment. You're exploiting them for multiple different reasons, and you don't have to be doing it, but you're choosing to.
But the number one thing is to eat it.
That doesn't matter. You're exploiting them, and
To
you
eat
don't
them.
have to do it.
To eat them.
It's exploitation. Do you understand what exploitation means?
Explain it to me.
Yeah, so exploitation is using someone for your benefit, and it does not benefit the individual.
Right. But
Yeah.
okay,
So
and then
it's okay.
to go on is like I go and I kill wild game, right, to eat them. And like as I was talking before with conservation, we have like as a whole, if we do not take some of these animals, they will all die.
No, that they won't actually. So for multiple different reasons, hunting isn't conservation. But honestly, I don't really want to even get into that topic because you're using animals for entertainment. You're using them for so many different reasons, and you're seeing them as an object that you can exploit for fun. You enjoy taking their lives. You
I
pursuing
enjoy
them.
eating them. It's
You
not
enjoy
hard to take
pursuing
their
them to
lives.
take their lives.
I mean,
I enjoy
Ryan,
eating them.
why don't you go to like some kind of shelter, adopt a dog or a cat, take them out
I have
into the
a dog.
woods. Okay, take them out in the woods, let them run around, and then hunt them.
No, I don't hunt dogs
Why not?
because why would I don't hunt things that I don't eat
Why don't you eat dog?
because it's wrong.
Why?
For my religion, it is wrong.
The religion card comes out now.
It came out when I very first got in here too.
Oh my God. Religion. Where does it say don't eat dogs?
It says to only eat animals with hooves in the Bible.
All right, so if we're going to go down the religious route, your Judeo-Christian God in the beginning made the Garden of Eden, which was a perfect creation. That was God saying, this is what I deem perfection. There was no death in the Garden of Eden. There was no use of each other in the Garden of Eden. Adam and Eve were just purely there to name them and take care of them. That was it. He said, the fruits and the vegetables are your food. It wasn't until someone sin entered the picture, that now you were given the permission to use animals to cope with survival of harsh environments. Don't you think that since God defined perfection in the beginning, that he would expect you to try to live as close to that as possible? He's all about testing you. He wants you to be as close to his perfection. Why are you pew-pewing animals for entertainment when you could just Use other things for entertainment and
I'm
eat other
pew-pewing
things.
them to eat them. It's not for entertainment.
It is for
to
entertainment,
solely
Ryan.
eat them.
Why do you need to do it?
To eat.
You don't
You
need to eat them.
specifically said
Go
you
ahead.
specifically said that you enjoyed it, that you loved it. You love the pursuit. That is entertainment.
You're unmuted.
I'm not.
Okay.
Yes, I'm just not. I'm not seeing where Adam and Eve are in the Garden of Eden. He's saying not to eat
The
the
Garden of
animals.
Eden, he says the fruits and the vegetables are your food. There's no death. There's no evil.
Pretty sure he told them not to eat the fruit from the forbidden tree, right?
Yeah, they're not supposed to eat the apple. That's true. But they're supposed to eat the other fruits and vegetables. Do you want
Okay,
me to?
but
You want me to pull it up? Is that what's happening?
but
Like
what
it doesn't.
about
Look,
Genesis?
Ryan.
What about
Ryan.
Genesis
Ryan.
1,
Ryan. You
verse
can go.
26?
I don't care. It doesn't matter what your Bible
We're
says.
supposed to have
I'm just
dominion over the fish of the sea and
look, Ryan. I don't care what your book says. If your book said that you get to dominate blonde women, I'm not going to respect that part of your religion. No religion, no culture morally justifies violating someone's body. I don't care that your God says it's okay you go hunting. It's immoral to the deer. They don't want to lose their life. The only reason that these animals are wandering into human spaces is because we're invading their homes. Where are they supposed to go, Ryan? If we stopped animal agriculture, we could give them back land. We could reduce our ag land by 75%. That's the equivalent of America and Brazil combined. All that land we don't need to use for animals. We can just let them roam. Let the wild ones roam. Yeah, I thought you'd run. I hate the religious argument, guys. Stop with the religion. Why do they keep coming up?
It's
so
like
annoying.
every person.
It really is. Oh my gosh, as soon as he brings it up. Like, oh my God. Were you not listening? All right, Bella. I saw you begging to come up here. Please tell me you're not a child.
All I want to say.
Oh, you are a child. You can ask your stuff in the chat then, because I don't want to talk to kids. 18 and older only, please. God is greater than my opinion. So if it's someone's religion to enslave others, does that mean that we have to respect that? We have to allow them, we have to think that's moral? Actually, that's not even the questions that I want to be asking. Do you think that it is moral for someone to enslave someone else, even if it is in their religion? No. Most people would disagree. I don't care what your religion is. I don't want to be enslaved. I don't want to be subject to whatever your Bible says. I'm in here. I'm still doing this. I'm still living in here. Is it wrong for a shark to eat a fish? I would say it's not about right or wrong. I still find the action of the shark taking someone else's life immoral, but I understand that shark is in a survival situation, as is the fish. And they're both going to do things that are immoral because they don't understand the complexities like we do. They don't even have the space to do so. Humans don't know morality until someone teaches them. That's fine, Bella, but you sound very young. You can ask your question in the chat. You can ask it in the chat. If it's really fast, you should be able to type it out then. Yes, humans are animals, but the animals you're speaking of who are living out in the wild are not moral agents. They're moral patients. They're just trying to survive a harsh environment and doing the habits that have kept them alive. Yeah, exactly. You're 17. Exactly. You sound like you're young. I'm not going to talk to someone who's 17. You can ask your mom or your guardian, why should I not talk to people that are over 18 right now? I know you think that you can handle yourself, but people are manipulative. You won't see it coming. You need to be careful. There are predators out there. Spencer, are you over 18?
Yes, ma'am. I'm 19.
What year were you born?
2006, April 12th.
Okay. So
Um,
why aren't you vegan yet?
well, um, I think it's completely moral to not be vegan.
Why?
Well, you don't want me to bring up the Bible, I guess.
Oh my God, really? All right.
I don't have to.
It's fine if you do, but understand that your religion still does not morally justify violating someone. If your book said that it's
I know,
your
you keep saying
right,
violating
yes,
someone.
yes, when
Animals
you stab them and you drain them of their blood, that's violating their bodily autonomy. When you steal their family from them, that's violating them. When you penetrate them with your arms, that's violating them. When you lock them in a space with a randy male, that's violating them. Yes, I use violation because that's what you're doing. You're invading someone's autonomy and life without first of all their consent, but not even considering their preferences.
Yeah, so this is basic theology. Hold
on. Let's also not forget animal testing as well, and all the animals that are put into cages and have chemicals shoved in their eyes and down their throats and have all sorts of horrible things happen to them.
Yes, that's true.
Thank you. The fact that you say someone, or that means they have a body and spirit, right?
They have spirits. Animals have spirits just like we do.
It's not about spirits, though. It's about sentience.
Your spirit.
It's about sentience. It's about sentience.
Your spirit is your will and intellect.
Spencer, there's no such thing as spirit.
Your soul.
It doesn't matter. Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So Spencer, so when we're talking about someone, or at least when I talk about animals being a someone, I'm talking about them being an individual with a subjective experience, right? So, do you have a dog or a cat or any?
Yes, I have a hunting dog.
You have a dog. What's your dog's name?
Name's Ash.
Ash. Okay, so would you say that Ash has a personality?
I don't know. I wouldn't use that term. Probably.
Would you say that Ash was different than the dog I had growing up? My dog Cody growing up, would you say Ash was different than
every creature is different in some way,
Yeah, so Ash has a different personality than Cody, right? Because I mean I can tell you that for my dogs, Cody had a different personality than Jack, than Bailey, than Flax, than Mika. Like Cody, they were all different. Every single one of them was different.
Sure.
Yeah, so they all had their own personalities. They all had their own desires and wants and needs. Every single one of them was an individual.
Okay.
Okay, so when we're talking about someone, we're simply saying that they are their own being who wants their autonomy respected. As like Ash wants their autonomy respected. Cody wanted her autonomy respected. The cows want their autonomy respected. I believe you said Ash was a hunting dog. Every animal you hunt, they all want their autonomy respected. Like, have you ever picked up a cat before who didn't want to be picked up?
Probably.
Okay, and what usually happens if you pick up a cat and they don't want to be picked up? What do?
Probably hiss or.
Yeah, they hiss, they claw, they do what they can to get out of your arms because you're invading their space. You are taking away their autonomy. They don't want to be held, but you're holding them.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens with the animals that you take their lives from, that you hunt? What happens to them? Do they run away? Do they try to avoid being unalived?
Well, yeah, of course.
Because they want their autonomy respected.
Basic disagreements that they don't have a will, intellect, a true purpose like we do as humans. But then
what's a human's purpose? What's a human's purpose?
To love.
To love or to live?
To will the good of another.
Say it again?
To will the good of another.
To will the good of another, that's a human's purpose?
Yeah, we're made out of love to love. Yeah, I would say that.
Okay, so you're saying that humans, our purpose is to love. That's simply it. It's not to be alive. It's just love.
Yeah.
Would you say that it's very loving or respectful to take someone's life?
A human's life with a will and intellect, no, that is wrong.
What about someone who,
Frank,
again,
I'm gonna drop down. I'm gonna drop down real quick, Anna. Okay. If you want to bring, I know he's still in the queue. Ozark back up. I have to make a phone call.
Don't worry about it.
So Spencer, do you see where I'm going with this?
A little bit, I think. It's a little confusing.
Yeah, so basically what I'm saying, and the whole point of what veganism is it's taking an ethical stance again against the unnecessary exploitation of sentient beings.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, a little bit. I have a question. So if everybody was vegan, I think we'd have a mass starvation problem a lot greater than we already do. So how do you guys feel about that? People starving to death. They don't have meat. I mean, this goes way back. It's into all of Earth's history. If we didn't have meat.
So so I guess my answer to that, and I know Anna, you have the stats on it, is right now we have 8 billion people and we have enough food to feed about 10 billion people. But right now we are also feeding not just the 8 billion people, but we are growing crops to feed 92 billion land animals and also the marine life too. There's a lot of marine life that's being fed with soy and crops as well. And so right now we are feeding so many beings when we don't have to be doing that. That's a massive amount of land. And Anna, I know you have the stats on that, so I'll let you go.
Yeah, so we're using 83% of our ag land to raise animals for their space and their food. And if we stopped raising animals, we could free up the land equivalents of America and Brazil combined. We can either rewild it, we could have humans live there, whatever. We just don't have to use it for animal ag anymore. And we could at the same time feed 10 billion people so we could have a greener planet, well-fed population, and probably improve our health as well as not enslave sentient beings. So, like, what's stopping you from living vegan?
Well, it just number one, I think it's wrong. I think it's perfectly moral to eat animals.
Do you think the animals feel that way?
Yeah, they eat each other. So,
Do you think?
do we
Well,
eat each other?
even in that situation where a predator is chasing down their prey, do you really think that the prey thinks this is fair?
Yeah, I do. That's the basic tree of life
So
for animals.
That's not, Spencer. And it's kind of deluded that you say that. I know you're laughing, which tells me you don't even believe what you're saying. You're just being an asshole.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to come across that way, but that's
Well,
basic.
then don't
tree
laugh.
of life.
No, it's not a
The Lion
basic
King.
thing, Spencer. It's a basic misunderstanding. You're being ignorant because animals care about what happens to them. We know that. We also predate on each other. Humans are predators to other humans, right? Even if a human was to predate on me, I'm not going to think, oh, this is fair. I'm going to think, I want to live. I don't want to feel harm. The animals are exactly the same way. They do not want to be used. They don't want to experience harm. And they're only there because you demand that they be there. Supply and demand.
No, animals
demand,
understand that.
no, hush. When you go in and you buy these packages, you are demanding someone against their will be forced into these systems that you wouldn't tolerate being put through. We don't even put our worst humans through these systems. These animals have done nothing to deserve this. If really we want to do this to those that deserve it, why don't we do it to the worst humans and eat their flesh? It's just as dangerous to eat their flesh. Why don't we do it to other humans that are terrible?
Because we have the will to be better, to become better, the intellect to
It's
forgive others.
because even in our worst humans, There's still someone in there, right? It's still immoral to violate someone's bodily autonomy if someone is in there. They care about what happens to them. So animals who have done nothing to you, what morally justifies paying someone to be a hitman for animals?
Wait, I'm confused.
So I was saying, why don't we send our worst humans into a slaughterhouse? And you said because, why?
They're beings.
Right, they're human beings. And I'm saying the only reason that we value any human being is because they're sentient. There's someone in there. It's the only reason why we care. And we relate with them. If we were them, we wouldn't want to go through that. So why are we doing it to other animals who do have the same experience? They also don't want to feel pain. They have what are called... So do you know what nociception is?
I don't think so.
So it's the nerve endings that we have as humans that tell us when we're experiencing excruciating pain. The animals we use, all the way down to fish, they have that. They experience excruciating pain. We know they do. We've looked at their anatomy. Okay, so is it right then to cause them to suffer?
It's not wrong. Yeah.
Is it right?
Yeah.
It's right to cause them to suffer. So it's moral for me to kick a dog if I get pleasure out of it.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay, now I'm confused. What's the difference?
Yeah, so when I harvest an animal, I don't want it to suffer, right?
Why? Why does it matter?
Yeah.
Why does it matter?
Well, I just don't want to watch anything
Oh,
suffer.
so it's about you. Is it because you're watching an animal suffer and you can recognize that they're suffering and that you wouldn't want to be them? You wouldn't want to suffer, so you can surmise that they don't want to suffer? Then why don't you just shoot them in the leg and then go and kill them or unalive them?
That's because that would be unethical.
Oh, is it because you're causing them suffering and it's immoral to cause them unnecessary suffering, Spencer? You're kind of going back and forth here. You're not making sense. Can you stay logically consistent? Why don't you just pew-pew them in the butt? Why don't you actually unalive them or just, pew-pew them until there's a bunch of holes and then unalive them?
The real answer is because that would be more difficult than to just kill them right away. And then
No, it's not actually. Most people don't hit the right spot. Most people miss, right? Most hunters come up here and tell me, you better aim well, because otherwise you're causing unnecessary suffering, and that's immoral, right?
In what sense are you using that term immoral? In the Christian sense?
No, I don't believe in any God. Do you think it's right, just your moral perspective, Spencer, to cause an animal unnecessary suffering?
Unnecessary suffering, no.
Right, it's immoral, correct?
Yeah, to cause an animal unnecessary
You don't need to hunt a deer. You're causing unnecessary harm. We're done here. You understand the logic.
Yeah, I think it's just the basic disagreement.
No, I think that you're literally ignoring facts. You're telling yourself that deer doesn't care about their life as much as you care about the entertainment you get from pew-pewing them. That's what oppressors do. They demean their victims' experiences so that they can get their jollies off.
Yeah, I just don't compare animals to humans.
Oh, is it because, Spencer, are you going to prove my point right now? Are you going to say deer don't care about their life as much as you enjoy taking their life? Is that what you're saying? They don't care about their life as much as you enjoy taking it? Do they care about their life?
Not in the way that humans do, no.
Do deer care about their life? Yes or no?
I would say...
Yes, they do. This isn't a hard question, Spencer. This is basic sentience. This is basic sentience. All sentient beings want to live. If someone wants to be harmed or wants to be unalived, that's not normal. There's something wrong and they need help.
I agree.
Okay, so we know for a fact those deer want to live. Do you think that your joy of going out there and pew-pewing them matters more to you than their life matters to them?
What was the question?
Do you think your entertainment is more important than the deer's life to them?
No, I don't really get much entertainment from
So
the
since
kill.
the deer cares about their life way more than you care about your entertainment, shouldn't you leave them alone?
No.
Why? Dude, I think you are purposely being stupid. Get the fuck out of here. God, you're clearly a child and you're just pulling me around in circles, and I can tell because you got this wishy-washy way of talking. You sound like a child that's being chastised. Speak with your chest. You're defending something. Why don't you be like upfront about it? Stop being so pansy about it. Be upfront. Not pansy. That's the wrong word, guys. I'm sorry. Just, like stop being so small about it. Be big. You think that you're right. What is this? What are you talking like this for? It's because you know you're wrong. Sorry, Freesia. I know you wanted to pop in. I kind of lost it.
No. No, you're good. Yeah. He was being evasive and cowardly and contradicting
That's the word
himself.
I was trying to think of. Yeah.
I mean, he was contradicting himself a lot too, saying that animals don't have the intellect to think certain things, but then when you ask the question of does the gazelle think it's fair when the lion is chasing them, he said no. So yeah, of course. So then basically he's saying that they do have the intellect.
Well, no, he was saying that they think it's fair. He thought they think it's fair. That's hilarious, guy. Like, that's Delulu. I mean, that is what oppressors think. They think, oh, the victim likes it because they're not telling me otherwise. And it's like, you're not listening. They turn away from the knife. They don't want to be used.
Exactly. And that's why I like to ask the cat question, because I think, the vast majority of people have picked up a cat before who does not want to be picked up.
That was actually really good.
Like, what we can all see what they want. They very clearly want to get away, and they have very clear signs, and they will scratch you. They will, do all sorts of things. And so, yeah. Like, if you can recognize that, then you can recognize that autonomy should be respected. Like, bottom line.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I really like that. I'm going to definitely use that too. Because that's such a great, stark display of, at least saying I don't like that. Because we can't get reliable consent for actions to be done to them. But we can definitely see when they don't consent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. If someone's trying to get away from you, they don't consent to you being around them. They don't.
They don't consent to whatever is about to happen. Yeah.
Exactly.
All right. Well, I've got another one. Are you ready or accepting to take on the next one?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's do it. Okay. I can't find my words today. I keep stuttering. Hey, Doc, are you over 18?
I am, yes.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan?
How are you
yet?
guys today, by the way?
We're okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Well, I mean, I kind of honestly, I wanted to join in on the last debate where you were saying that it's people do it for entertainment purposes, where like I kind of disagree with. Like, there's a lot of people that hunt off the land that do it like to get their food, and like also in like the wild when you see like whales and sharks like killing like seals, like they're doing that for food. They don't care about their emotions.
Yeah. Do you hunt?
I have before, but I'm not like a regular hunter. I have before, and I used it for food. I would never hunt something that I wasn't intending on eating.
I mean,
wait, can I ask you a question? Sorry. Can I just ask you a question real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Why do people call hunting a sport?
I honestly, I don't know. I feel like it's like been commercialized to become a sport, and maybe that's why people refer to it as that. But like, I don't really see it as like a sport. Like, I mean, like football is a sport. Like, I'm not going out there and playing hunting. Like, if
Yeah,
somebody's
but
going
like,
out to hunt.
why do people watch sports? Why are they interested in sports? Why do they play sports? Why would something be called a
Well,
sport?
that's for entertainment purposes. I don't agree that hunting is like necessarily a sport, though.
Yeah, but what my point is that, you came up here saying that most hunters don't think it's a sport, but it is a sport and it is for entertainment.
Yeah, fair. I mean, I don't know if I said most hunters don't think it is. I don't know if I meant to say that. I disagree that it's a sport. I know it's widely considered a sport, but I don't think it is.
Okay, well, I just wanted to clarify that. Go ahead, Dana.
Yeah.
To add to Freesia's point, they use a point system based on the animals, right?
I mean, to classify how big the buck is, they would say it's like an 8-point buck.
Right.
But that's like that's
And
not saying,
people-
oh, like you won 8 points. It's saying like, oh, that's how many points are on the buck.
You're telling me
point
that
it means.
when it's a really high number buck that they don't brag about it?
No, I mean they do. I mean that's yeah.
Is
I mean
that
I'm
not
not.
competing?
Yeah, I get. Yeah, it is.
Exactly. So it is entertainment, but also it's unnecessary. I understand that some people call it conservation, but if you genuinely cared about conservation, you wouldn't jump to the gun. You would think of, or pew pew, excuse me, TikTok. You would consider other methods of, reaching your goal. Like there's birth control, there's improving habitats, right? There's building walls. There's other ways that we can prevent animals from wandering into human spaces. If we stopped demanding animal products, then we could reduce our agricultural land use by 75% and give all that land back to the wild animals. And then they won't encroach on human places because they'll have room.
Yeah, that's totally fair.
Okay.
I don't.
What's stopping
I don't
you from being vegan then?
Honestly, I mean, I really, really like meat. I like it in my diet. I like the way it tastes.
Okay, so when you go hunt, is it because you don't like factory farming?
Yeah, you could say that. Because I would say, yeah, I don't hunt often, but I definitely disagree with factory farming. I'm against that.
Why are you against factory farming?
Because I think that's like incredibly inhumane, but I think hunting is more like of a primal thing that's been around for like centuries. But like factory farming is something that has really like come about, I guess, the progress of man.
So the point is, though, you care about their experience, right? You're seeing that the experience of the animals in those places is atrocious, right? It's terrible. The animals are not happy.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely atrocious, but I also think it's not even comparable to like a deer getting shot in the woods. Like,
well, no, my point is that we are agreeing that all these animals are sentient, that they all care about what's happening to them. We are against these massive systems that are clearly systematically abusing someone, right? For nothing, for no reason, for gluttony, right? So if we care about that, if we care about their suffering, then knowing that we don't need anything from them, that we can get everything from other sources, makes even the nice farms, even the hunting, immoral, because you're literally stealing someone's life for sensory pleasure. When you could get all of that from, you can get entertainment, get clothing, all your food, everything from alternative sources.
yeah, that's totally fair, and I do like completely see your side, and I don't entirely disagree with it. Yeah,
Let's say I started a club, and I did what I told you earlier. I adopt a dog, and then I go out into this someone's private land, and we release these dogs, and we go hunt the dogs. Is that moral in your perspective?
No, absolutely not. I mean, I think if you're releasing animals for like when people go like on these like pheasant hunts and they're just releasing the birds into the air and then shooting them out of the air, like I don't agree with that. I think if you're going to go hunting, do it like they did it back in the primal days.
But why is that wrong? I don't understand.
Because they've they've captured the bird and like those birds are living in captivity, like, and then they release them just to get killed. Whereas like hunting is like, yeah, you're going out and it's not like that animal has been living in captivity.
Okay,
You're going out
so you care that the animal has had a good life, but wouldn't someone who's had a good life want to live the next day even more so because they're not in misery?
Fair. Yeah, I see where you're coming with that.
Yeah. Well, that's just
But
all
I also,
veganism.
like, I think
Veganism is
we're-
just recognizing that everybody wants to live the next day, and if I don't have to oppress them, I will avoid doing so.
Yeah, that's totally fair. I'm also like, I look at like the food chain as well. That like kind of where I made that like comparison with like whales or seals, like whales hunting seals or sharks hunting seals. Like
Yeah, but
they're
they're in a different situation. They don't have grocery stores. They don't have
that's true.
they don't have the time to like think about what's right and wrong. We don't even know what's right and wrong. We have to be
Yeah.
taught, right? And then we also have to experience life and weigh out our experiences, and that just it takes a long time for us to understand morality. And animals just aren't given that kind of capacity and time to do so. You know, some of them
Absolutely.
they do show signs of ethics. We've actually done studies on mice where they release a mouse and there's another mouse that's trapped, and they can either release that other mouse and share the treats that are available, or they just go eat the treats themselves. And about 60% of the time, which is on par with humans, the mice release the other mouse and share the treats. So they do show signs of ethics. You know, they show signs of relating with others' suffering, just like we do. But they don't necessarily have the time like we do, as I've repeated over and over now, to practice morality.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, listen, I have to run. I really wanted to just debate on like the whole entertainment aspect. I see where you stand. I mean, I respect all your views, and I hope you guys have a great day.
If hold on, let me just throw in one thing. If deer entering human spaces is really an issue in your area, consider looking into the birth control or other methods, because that really is going to more help the environment rather than just pew-pewing them, because the game of pew-pewing them is also just perpetuating the system to be even more inhospitable for them, right? They always pick the bigger deer to hunt down, and that always leaves the more sickly and smaller ones to reproduce, and that's how you get more disease and whatever. It's like we're playing a game with their lives, and it's just not fair. All of it's unfair.
Mm-hmm.
So just consider that, okay?
I will. Well, thank you for having me on, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.
Yeah, I appreciate you coming up. Thank you, Doc.
It reminds me of, because my extended family on my dad's side and my dad are all hunters, and I remember one of the songs that my dad used to love to play was the 30-point buck, and the whole thing was about how someone unalived a 30-point buck, and it was this whole big thing, and he always thought it was a hoot. The song was so funny, and every single year, that side of the family, they have contests on who gets the biggest deer and who unalives the most.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
it's absolutely a sport.
Oh, absolutely. It's absolutely a sport. And it's a sport. It's for entertainment. And we don't need to be
there. If it was really about the real reasons that they claim, like conservation, for example, there would be other methods to choose from, not just pew-pewing them. But it's because you get entertainment out of it, you get excited, getting dressed up to go to your event, right? Which is going out and sitting in the woods covered in deer pee. But, you know, a lot of people make a weekend of it. They make it a big festival. So they're like celebrating around the entertainment of taking someone's life. That's also, you know, I get why people think it's a positive thing, because they have all of this benefit, but it's like you're surrounding all this benefit for yourself by taking from someone else. That's what's unfair. The deer didn't agree to this game. Usually in a real sport, you know, both sides are consenting. Not everyone knows about the game and hunting. Alex, I'll bring you up, but I see you spamming my chat. I don't necessarily like that. Are you over 18?
Yes.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Well, that I honestly don't know. So I mainly wanted to touch upon the. I came in pretty late. I heard you guys talking about hunting, and I heard you kind of refer to the point system. So just so you know, the point system is not like points in a video game that you get for killing things. The points means the points on a deer's antlers. How many points come off of the deer's antlers? It's not like, oh, I got a high score and I got points. That's not at all how it works. So
I know it's about the antlers. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
it didn't sound like that. You were trying to make it sound, or it seemed like you were kind of making it sound like points in a video game. Anyway,
I fully understand. It's about the antlers and how many points are on the antlers.
Okay. So, and then also, if you fail to manage a population of deer or black bear or something like that, you end up where there's so much disease being spread that the population is killing itself on top of everything else that it causes. Human and wild animal interactions skyrocket, and quite frankly, nobody's spending taxpayer money shooting up deer with birth control. Like, that's not how it works. The most effective means and cheapest and easiest way of managing the population
The
so that they
cheapest
don't
and the
spread.
easiest. That's all it is. It's cheap and easy to
Absolutely.
take someone's
Absolutely.
life.
We're not
Yes.
going to go spend the military budget every year to go shoot up deer with birth control. That's not reasonable or how it works at all. And then on top of that, do you know how many deer live 50, 60, 70 miles into the woods through mountains and everything else? There's no chance you'll ever in the entire world be able to control all the deer in the United States. Do you know how big of a country that we have? Like,
Alex,
that's just completely unrealistic
Alex.
and unimaginable.
If we stopped animal agriculture, we could reduce our agricultural land by 75%. That's the equivalent of the U.S. and Brazil combined.
Okay,
that means
that's awesome.
we could Oh, I can't hear you.
That's awesome, but what happens in...
Are you covering your mic?
No, I don't believe so.
It's very quiet
I
right
might
now.
be.
There we go.
Is that good?
Yeah,
okay.
it's better.
I might have been.
That's fine.
We stop all the agricultural farming and everything. We do all that, give them all this land, and then in 10 years, when they've eaten out all the resources in that land and also reproduced to a point where they're also taking up that space, then
Alex,
what do? Can we shoot them up with birth control?
Do you really think that nature has never controlled itself? It's always had humans to manage it?
Exactly, and that's why it hasn't gone out of control.
I don't think you heard what she said, Alex.
I asked you, do you think nature has always had humans?
Do I think? I thought you said, did you know? Okay.
No,
no, obviously not. But
okay, so we don't need to interfere. We can just be hands off, right? We can let animals perish and grow as they.
How do you know that? Do you have any evidence that there wasn't massive disease spreading?
I'm saying that what we should do is focus on our own actions first, and if animals are wandering in, we should look at other options to protect them and ourselves. You don't have to jump. You don't have to jump to pew-pewing them. We can invest.
So we spend taxpayer money on building walls and building fences.
Yes.
And all
because
that.
Alex, we wouldn't be growing animals. We spend so much of our tax dollars subsidizing animal ag. We could utilize that money for other things.
So what does the person 100 miles south of the Arctic Circle do?
Are you living in this? Are you living in the Arctic Circle, Alex?
Me? No, I'm talking about
I'm
hunting as a
only
whole.
Alex. Stop. Good fucking God, dude. Stop whatabouting. Stop asking about populations that you're not part of. Talk about yourself only, okay? I don't care to play this game of what about them, what about them. I'm talking to you. Why aren't you vegan? Why aren't you vegan, Alex? It's in the middle. There you go. Why aren't you vegan? Okay, I'll give you 2 more seconds.
You've got it. Oh, okay. He ran.
Yeah. I don't really appreciate him trying to yell over me about other populations. Like, dude, talk about your own actions. You know what you're going through the most. No one knows your life better than you. So talk about yourself. What are your situations?
Yeah, absolutely. I always think it's funny when people come up and act as if we know nothing about hunting. It's like, like I'm aware that it's not a video game. Like I'm aware
they do kind of use it. They still kind of use it like that, though. They are comparing the points to each other. You even said, they have a competition about who can get the more points, like the most points on.
Yeah.
So
yeah, exactly.
I don't know what he's talking about. Anyway. Let's see if it's another hunter. It seems like they come in groups. We had the religious group, and now we have the hunting group.
Hello, good evening.
Hi, are you over 18?
Yes, I'm 20.
Okay, why aren't you vegan yet?
I kind of depend on meat for my daily protein intake. So,
Okay, do you
and I know for a
recognize
fact that. What's the question? Sorry.
oh,
Do I
do you
recognize what?
that animals are sentient?
Oh yeah, no, I definitely recognize that certain animals are sentient. Not all of them, but certain ones, yes.
So the animals we use like cows, pigs, chickens, fish, goats, do you understand that they are sentient?
Yeah.
Okay, what does
Yep.
sentience mean, just so I know we're on the same page?
Well, it's not the same as consciousness. I know that for a fact. It's basically that. Fuck. Sorry, my English isn't my first language.
That's okay. It's subjective feelings, the ability to have subjective feelings.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That.
Yeah. So if animals are able to feel pain and joy, and humans are able to feel pain and joy, then what morally justifies farming animals, but recognizing that it's immoral to farm humans? What's the difference? What morally justifies that difference in treatment?
Well, first, I'm pretty sure humans don't like eating each other. That we consider that cannibalism.
Some cultures
Second of
do.
all,
Some cultures do. There's
yeah,
actually
yeah, some cultures do. Some cultures do, but those cultures
So
are mostly
what
because
makes
they
it
got.
what makes it immoral in your mind to farm humans but moral to farm animals?
Because we're conscious creatures.
So animals are conscious. There's the New York Declaration of Consciousness and the Cambridge
Oh,
Declaration of Consciousness.
self-aware.
So many of the
Yes.
animals that we use are self-aware, but that doesn't even matter. Sentience is what matters. Sentience means you care what happens to you. You're weighing out your experiences and making preferences.
Well, every animal cares what happens to itself. It's self-preservation. That's obvious.
Well, it's
I'm
more
just
than that. We
stating the
each,
fact
it's
that
more
every
than that.
animal is going to
It's
feel-
Mr.
No,
Guru.
every,
It's more than that. It's that we all have our own purpose, right? We find things that we
Yeah.
enjoy and we tend to gravitate towards them. And those preferences are unique to us. That's what makes
Yeah.
us unique. Okay.
I'm not denying any of that. I'm just
So then
saying those
what-
are not valid excuses for us not to be eating and consuming other animals. It's
So
the way
tell
of
me,
nature.
if animals have the same want to continue living their preferences and their purpose, why is it okay to invade their life and violate them?
Well, they do the same to us. They don't think twice when they do it to us.
So-
So why should I do it to them?
Do you hold
A lion
children?
does not think twice.
Do you
A lion does
hold-
not think twice.
You're not
when it's
breaking new
not related
information to me. Do
bear doesn't
you
think
hold
twice.
hold on. Do you hold
Okay, sorry.
children? Do you hold children to the same level as you do adults? Do you hold them to the same accountability?
No, of course not.
Exactly, because they don't fully understand morality like a moral agent adult, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah, animals are much the same. They're doing immoral things because
You
they
bet.
don't understand morality.
You
So
bet.
so
That's
it,
not my fault.
Hush. God, you're so condescending. So is it immoral then for me to exploit children?
Of course it is.
Why?
Because they're helpless.
Animals are also helpless in some instances.
No, they're not. I've seen a bear tear a man to shreds. They are not helpless. Trust me.
What makes it okay for me to exploit an animal, but not okay to exploit a child?
I mean, it's all of those are social structures. I guess you
Right,
could say
it's social.
basically social
Exactly.
engineering,
What
right?
matters is sentience. When we look at humans, what we value is their sentience. We don't care how smart someone is. We don't care what they look like. We don't care who they're related to. We just care that we know there's someone in there. And if you were them, you would also still want to be respected, right?
Have you never met a racist or
I'm
somebody?
talking to you. Are you racist?
No, but I'm saying
Okay,
that most.
I'm talking about your morals. Your morals. Stop talking about others. Stand up for your own principles. If you think you're right, stop pivoting to other people. I'm asking you and your morals. Why is it immoral in your perspective alone? Why is it immoral for me to exploit a child, but moral to exploit animals?
Because
What is the difference?
that child is the same species as us. As a species, our main goal is to thrive, survive, advance,
What
and
is
move
it
on.
about
And
humans?
committing a crime,
What
I mean
is it?
crime, committing this
God, you just keep going. Like, you're not here to actually learn. Do you want to know why veganism exists? Why people want you to live vegan? Or are you just up here to like slap me down and try to beat me? Because what I'm talking about is someone abusing animals. Go ahead, Freesia, sorry.
No, yeah. Mister, do you understand what veganism is?
Yeah, that you don't consume meat and any animal products.
Okay,
And
so I'm going to give you the definition of what veganism is, because it's a lot more than just a diet, right? So
I guess it is a lot more. I didn't know.
yeah, so there is a a plant-based diet aspect of it, but veganism itself is an ethical stance against the unnecessary exploitation of sentient beings. So we don't use sentient beings, we don't use animals for food, clothing, entertainment, any other purpose like that. Testing, that's what veganism is.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, so when we're trying to when we're talking about not exploiting children, like child labor, that sort of thing, we're asking what about the child makes it so that we should not be exploiting them?
Because it's human.
Okay, so what about being human? So what we're saying is that the child is human, but they are moral patients, meaning that they deserve moral consideration.
Okay.
And us as moral agents, as adults, can understand right and wrong, right? We understand that it's wrong to take someone's life. We understand that it's wrong to do all these.
Well, when you say it's wrong to say take somebody's life, that's incorrect. If I'm defending myself, I can take somebody's life. I wouldn't think twice about doing that.
That would be in a survival situation. So we're not talking about survival.
If I'm hungry, I'm gonna hunt. That's a survival situation too. Eating meat is survival.
Do you have access to a grocery store?
I'm pretty sure almost every human has access to a grocery store, yes?
Okay, so then you do not need to be hunting for your food. You can go to the grocery store.
But somebody else does. Doesn't matter if it's me or them.
I'm talking to you.
I mean, if I really wanted to get really fresh, nice meat, I'd go hunt myself. I'm just too lazy to do that. The fact that there's a store, that's just convenience. It doesn't change the fact that we still do need meat to survive.
We don't need meat to survive.
Yeah, we do. I've seen so many vegans in my life.
No, we don't need meat to survive. We don't. The Academy of Nutrition and the Academy, Mister, hey, you need to stop. The Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics supports a plant-based diet, and all major bodies of nutrition, they all support a plant-based diet. A well-planned plant-based diet is safe for all stages of life. So we do not need to be consuming anything from animals.
Yes, we do. Protein from meat and from animal products
protein. Clearly, you've done research.
is way easier and way more.
Yeah, I'm really done talking to you. Freesia, do you want to keep talking to him? Because otherwise, I'm just going to kick him.
Yeah, of course. Just kick me.
Oh, he wants to be kicked. You want to go?
I just feel like he's not listening. He's literally just yelling whatever he can find on Google to not go vegan, and he's not here to have a genuine conversation. I was just so frustrated he wasn't willing to listen to you. He had to keep yelling about pointless things, that we need meat. We don't need meat. I've been vegan 9 years. Okay, I know vegans have been vegan longer. You don't need animal flesh. You don't need their secretions. You don't need any of it.
Yeah, I've been vegan for 11 years now.
Oh my gosh. W's for Freesia. That's amazing. Every true vegan always says, I wish I'd gone vegan sooner. And if you're really vegan, it really feels that way. You're like, God, I can't believe how long I participated in blood sacrifices. It's just crazy when you think about how long and like what you make. I wish I'd have known sooner, but you can't change your past, but that feeling is so real. Yeah.
Same. I wish so badly that I had gone vegan earlier, and I was vegetarian for a while in high school, and it was
didn't know. You just didn't know, or weren't able to actually understand the gravity of it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the social pressures is what really got to me when I was younger. And yeah, and like being, in a family where everyone else was eating meat and all of that. And, I'm from Wisconsin, so I was eating a ton of cheese, didn't know how to get protein from plants, didn't know how to actually, I was a kid. So, but I really wish that I had learned a lot sooner and really dove deep into it at a younger age.
Same. I wish that I'd ran into somebody that was talking about it so that they would just told me the information, but I didn't talk to anybody. I just had to watch a bunch of documentaries, and even that is just surface level. You're not even into the deep of like really seeing what goes on in these slaughterhouses, and even on the nice farms. I went on a time where I was trying to find some right way to do it, and every single time it's like, oh my God, this is still so disgusting. Extremely, like, that rights violations everywhere, even on the nicest farms. It's just there's just no right way to do it. Just no right way to do it.
No, there's no right way to do the wrong thing. There really isn't. And it breaks my heart now because on my dad's side of the family, they raised cattle, for money and all of that. And I remember at Thanksgiving going out to my grandparents' house, and all the cows were there in the field, and I would feed them grass, and I was so excited to hang out with them. And now as an adult, I'm like, oh my God, every single one of them went to a slaughterhouse. Every single one of them was unalived, and people ate their bodies. Like, it just breaks my heart knowing that.
Yeah, that's, wow, man, I'm so sorry. Yeah, like when you actually have a relationship with them that's like even deeper. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
I just thought they were so cute. Like, I was a kid. I just thought they were so cute. I had no idea. Yeah.
I mean, it'd be like being on someone's property, has lots of dogs, and then you find out it's a dog meat farm.
Yeah, right? Or a puppy mill or something.
Exactly.
It's
exactly.
It's like,
that.
oh, wow. Yeah, which is so funny because so many people are against puppy mills. Like, they understand that puppy mills are wrong. They're against them. They think that they're, horrendous. Yeah. But then look what we do to cows. Look what we do to pigs. It's,
yeah. And then they say they're against factory farming, but it's okay because they need their meat. They need their protein.
Yeah. Terrible. There's a major misunderstanding of how we can get protein from plants.
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Jellyfish, are you over 18?
Yes.
Okay, why aren't you vegan yet?
Because I'm not going to go vegan.
Oh, why are you up here?
Because I've been listening to you and you want to talk about morals. Well, let's talk about that. So you
why
sit
aren't
there
you
and say
vegan,
it's
then?
immoral to be eating. Hey?
Why aren't you vegan then? It's right there. It's in the middle. I sent you an invite. You should be able to unmute. Okay. Geez.
Did he?
What'd you say?
Did he just leave?
No, I dropped him because he wasn't unmuting.
Oh, okay.
All right, I'll bring you back up if... oh, okay. Never mind. It looked like the person I was inviting dropped. Okay. So you want to talk about morals. I want to know why you aren't vegan yet.
Because I'm not going vegan.
Yeah, but why aren't you vegan? Why not? Why don't you want to be vegan?
Because of morals.
You think it's more moral to take the life of animals for your taste pleasure?
In the same way that you think it's moral to monetize your morals based on veganism, but at the same time...
Monetize?
Yeah, you're monetizing it. Yeah, because you're getting paid by TikTok to run.
Oh, the donations? Dude, I literally haven't even touched what I tell people to not donate. Guys, donate to the local sanctuary. I don't need your money. I'm fine. It's nice that you donate to me, but I would much rather you give that money to a sanctuary for the animals. I'm not here to make money.
Is this the part where I tell you to hush?
No, you don't tell me to hush. You answer my questions. Why aren't you vegan?
Well, I didn't know that this was a dictatorship.
It's my live. If you don't want to
Yeah,
play
but
by
you're
my
inviting
rules,
people.
yeah, you can go cry in the chat. Like, dude, what the hell are you doing? Like, you
What was
seriously,
that?
the biggest baby. And then oh my God. And then you request to come back up? You want to come back to my dictatorship and cry online in front of everybody as a big adult? Like, what is wrong with you?
What I think is so funny is that like there's no live goal. There's nothing like that.
There's
Like
nothing.
there's nothing.
I don't. If I could, I would remove everything that's up there. I don't even know how to do that. Alex,
I don't
are
know
you,
if it's possible.
I don't know if it is either.
Hello.
I try to delete anything I can that's up there. Alex, are you over 18?
Yeah, over 18.
What year were you born?
Quebec City in Canada.
What year were you born?
82. I'm 43 years old.
Okay. So why aren't you vegan yet?
For me, it's because I love meat. Because I love the taste of meat. I have a base in I'm a chef. I used to be a chef. I used to cook a lot. And I love the flavor. And by science, we're not plant-based animals. We're omnivores.
Okay, so the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, the largest organization of nutrition professionals that focus on how nutrition affects your health, all agree that a vegan diet is safe and healthy for all stages of life and is preventative to many of the diseases that plague us the most, like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, even reducing the side effects of Alzheimer's. So if we can be healthier using plants, I mean, if we can even just be equivalently healthy, then why don't we stop demanding sentient beings lose their life, autonomy, and family and just use plants and other resources?
But it's not imposing some belief to a lot of people. My other
You're
question
forcing your belief on the animals. You're sticking knives in them. Are you getting consent before you do that? Is stabbing them, is taking their life in their best interest or yours?
I see that your problem is industrial cow and
No,
industrial
all
farming.
animal use. I am against
So-
all animal use.
Okay, can I ask you one question? When I was a little younger, I used to work with my father. Perhaps you know him. He's a great environmentalist in Canada. I grew up, we have a lot of culture here. I don't know, sorry for my English. French is my first language. But how are you gonna tell emerging country and third world country to be vegan? I've been there. I've been in the farm there.
Stop. I'm not going to poor nations and telling them anything. I'm on TikTok having people request to talk to me, and I'm asking them why they're not vegan.
Okay, but how are you gonna convince?
Why aren't you vegan?
But because I just told you, because it's the nature of human. You know that
It's the
all the
nature of
scientific-
humans. It's the nature of humans to grape one another. It's the
Are we
nature of
animals?
humans. Yes, we are animals.
Oh, yeah, we are
Yes.
animals.
Okay.
So
Alex,
a lion,
are you
a lion.
stop. God. Are you trying to say that everything in nature that animals do, because we're an animal, everything that animals do in nature then is moral? Because then you're saying grape is moral. You're saying unjust unaliving is moral. That's what happens in nature. Sometimes they even do infanticide. Does that mean that I now have a moral justification to eat my babies because lions do it? This is your logic I'm using. Your logic. Even though it's subjective, you have to be able to apply it objectively. Like, I can't just go around slapping people and say, oh, that's my morality. I have to objectively apply my morality. That's how we get to laws. We agree on things. Not all laws are moral. It's a group thing, but we can all agree on some things, right? We don't want to be enslaved. You don't want to be enslaved. I don't want to be exploited. You don't want to be exploited. We all have our own purpose. So do the animals. If you care about the environment, we dedicate 83% of our ag land to raising animals. If we stopped animal ag, reduce that by 75% and feed 10 billion people. We're only 8 billion right now. So if you're worried about the environment, using animals is a detriment to the environment. You can eat other things. You can wear other things. You can watch and be entertained by other things. You don't need to use animals. The mute button's in the middle. I don't know if you know where it is. You can unmute.
Yeah, sorry. Okay, I understand your point of view, but that's because we have a brain. We can think. That's different from
Animals have a brain.
Yeah, but they don't have morals.
The point
Do you
is,
think a chimpanzee has morals?
it doesn't matter if they have morals. We have humans that don't have morals. We still find it wrong to exploit them.
Do you know that chimpanzee eat meat?
It doesn't matter, Alex. It doesn't matter. You are a moral agent. Alex, you are a moral agent. You know what's right and wrong. A chimpanzee doesn't necessarily know what's right and wrong. They're surviving in a harsh environment. You have a grocery store. You have choices. You don't need to demand the oppression of animals. You can consume plants. You don't need to wear their leather or their fur. You can wear plants or other alternatives, right? You don't need to use cosmetics that were shoved in someone's eye or shoved down their throats until they puked blood, right? You can use other products that weren't tested on animals. It's the same thing for everything. We don't need to use animals. We have all the alternatives right now. So right now, you demanding to use animals is subjecting an innocent being to be enslaved, to be violated, to have their family robbed of them for you. You are the reason they are there. If you remove your demand, the producers reduce how many individuals they breed into existence. You have so much power. You could save 100 to 300 animals. That's huge to each one of them. If you were standing in a crowd of 100 people, you would still care about your single individual experience and then multiply that by 100. So why not be that hero? It's not even that much of an effort. It's literally just moving your hand in the grocery store and taking 20 minutes to learn how to eat, maybe a month to practice those new habits. You're muted. It's right there in the middle.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I understand your point of view. You don't know. I hate the industrial farming. That's ugly. That's the ugliest thing.
Why is it ugly?
That's because it's like say it's robotic. It's full of pathogen, full of steroid. It's not good for your health. But when I buy my meat,
who cares? Do you know why it exists?
I buy it in a local market to support a family who's living, to support the economy.
Do you understand? Do you understand? Do you understand why factory farming exists? You can unmute yourself. I just wanted you to hear my question. Do you know why we have factory farming? Okay, while you figure out the mute button, the reason why we have factory farming, it came from small farms. These small farms that gave more room and more consideration to the animals, they're not efficient. They waste a lot of resources. Factory farming actually uses much less resource per animal because they get the animal fatter quicker. They get the animal to slaughter weight faster. So they can feed the world the demand that they make for animal products. That's why it exists. If everyone was to eat animals off of the farms that you describe, we would use more land. We don't even have the land to support that. We currently, with factory farming, remember that reduces resource and land use, okay? With factory farming, we dedicate 83% of our ag land to raising animals for their space that they live in and the food they eat. Again, factory farming reduces it greatly. So if we go back to your way, you're going to increase our fresh water use. We already use 20 to 30% of our fresh water for animals. We also use 83% of our land, as I already said. We feed them most of our grains. 80% of the Amazon forest is wiped out for cattle farming, to raise soy, to feed animals. So if we stopped doing this, we could feed the whole population and then some. We could feed up to 10 billion people, right? Because we're not feeding 92.2 billion animals every year. So we can have food security, a greener planet, and we don't need to subjugate sentient beings through a system that we would never tolerate being put through, that we don't even put our worst humans through. Like, ask yourself, why would you feel wrong? Because I'm assuming this, but ask yourself, why would you feel differently if you watched slaughter footage of a cow and replaced the cow with a dog? Would that change your mind? Would you feel more uncomfortable watching a dog writhe in pain or stand in line and watch the dog in front of them be unalived? Because that's what currently happens with cows, chickens, pigs. They all watch their friends and family lose their lives right before their eyes. They can smell the stress in each other. Specifically, cows can smell stress in each other's urine. They know what's happening. I'm going to drop you. You don't know where the mute button is, so say I love you. Mr. Cool Guy. I don't know. Actually, you're going to be my last guest, Mr. Cool Guy. Because we're at 3 hours, and I don't really like to go on longer. I'm clearly already too upset. I don't even want to hear the excuses anymore. Specifically, that guy was not making good ones.
I feel that.
Yeah. Oh, I guess he wasn't up here. Well, I might actually just call it there because it is at 3 hours and I also have to go to the bathroom. I always have to hold it the whole time. This person, it says they're still loading though.
Yeah, I can see them loading. I don't know. But yeah,
long.
3 hours is a long time.
It is long. I'm going to call it there. I'm sure Universe will go live soon or someone else will go live soon and go check out their lives. Universe is great. Also check out Freesia. She has great posts and sometimes she graces us with a live, but even if she doesn't go live, she has great posts that are always, they're profound and I love the artwork, the way that you put things in the background. It always looks really nice. So definitely go follow Freesia. No, I'm not. That's genuinely earned. I really like your posts. They're really profound and they're nice to share. I like them because they're not like overly graphic, which we do need still sometimes, but I like that they're not overly graphic and they still have this deep, profound message that anyone can relate with. So yeah, definitely go follow Freesia. And like I said, check out Universe. I'll probably be in the audience. I might join the panel. I sometimes don't because I worry I'm going to yell at his people, but that's just me. I'm a wild side vegan. Anyway. All right. Well, I appreciate everyone. Did you want to say anything, Freesia?
Oh, no. Just thank you for having me. I really appreciate it.
Hell yeah. Absolutely. I love having you up here. You're amazing. I don't tell the others, but you're probably one of my favorites.
Oh, no. You're too sweet.
Anyway. All right, guys. You guys have a good day. Have a great vegan day. Thank you all the vegans in the chat. Thank you for all the mods. I saw you also modding. Thank you everyone for modding, keeping the chat, somewhat safe because some people are they're too deranged and they're going to cause more harm than they're worth. So thank you for weeding them out. And thank you to my non-vegans for being here and willing to listen to a message that maybe you don't understand yet. Maybe you think you don't agree with it. Thank you for being here. I really do appreciate you too. Anyway, you guys have a great vegan day and I'll see you later. Bye. Bye. Oh, actually, before everyone goes, it's fine if you drop, but please go follow Anti-Animal Use on YouTube. There's my Hail Mary. Please go follow Anti-Animal Use. Yes. Trying to do more street outreach and we go live on YouTube. So go follow on YouTube Anti-Animal Use, okay? We reached our 50 so we can go live on that account. So go follow it. I'll see you guys there.
When do you go live usually on that account?
We go live Saturdays between 1 and 3 p.m. PDT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, anti-animal use.
Anti-animal use on YouTube, guys. This Saturday we'll be live. All right. Thank you, Freesia, for asking the time too. I almost forgot. All right, guys. Have a great day. I'll see you later.
Bye.